Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your announcer, Quentin the Stutterer. That's Quentin the Stutterer. Welcome to Howard Stern's Negligee and Underpants Party. Starring Howard Stern. Also starring Robin Quivers and a colossal cast of sizzling stars and dazzling deviants. They're all here live. But enough from me, Quentin the Stutterer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hot, horny, big and bulging, male and meaty, large and lusty Howard Stern.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. One of our listeners is in jail, so he's trying to... I'm in the middle of trying to find out what's going on.
Oh, dear.
We
don't want any of our listeners locked up.
Well, Corky, who's married to Miss Howard Stern since 1994.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know. He says he's in jail.
Why?
Hey, Cork? Hello?
Excuse me. Please deposit 5 cents for the next 5 minutes.
They got payphones and shit?
Yeah. Couldn't you call him back? What?
I didn't know he was on a payphone.
Oh, all right.
Hello, Howard.
Hey, we could have called you back.
Yeah, well, there's no phone to call me back.
Oh. Hey, so what are you doing in jail?
I don't know. I had an argument with Elaine. She brought me the baby yesterday to eat.
You're going to
eat the baby?
You're going to eat the baby?
No, to take her out to eat.
Yeah.
I bought her dinner when I sent the baby back. We got into an argument on the telephone. Words were exchanged, and I said something like maybe I should beat up your boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
And she had me locked up last night. And the cop told me the only reason he locked me up was because my wife's boyfriend is a housing cop.
Oh, man. He's in more trouble. I thought I told you...
Well, didn't we tell you to just back off and leave Elaine alone?
I tried, but when I found, she abandoned me and had an affair with another man, it upset me, it angered me.
Yeah, I know, but you got to...
I only found that out the day before I came on the show the last
But I got to tell you something. When couples break up, guys get angry, but you can't go around threatening people.
I never did nothing to her, Howard. You know where I've been, man? Forget about it. These people are standing behind me. They're fighting for the telephone.
So what can I do what can I tell you? I mean, what do you want me to do?
Can't you get me a lawyer or something, Dominic or somebody to get me out of here? If my truck doesn't come out in the morning, Eastern Steel will throw me out of the garage,
I thought that Dominic is representing your wife.
I don't know who's representing my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, but that would be a conflict of interest. He couldn't get you out of jail if he's representing Elaine.
Yeah.
Fuck Eastern Steel and say, if you need no steel for structural, he has the best steel. Don't throw me out of the garage.
What's he talking about?
Know.
Well, I think he's trying to make some friends over there in prison. Yeah. Listen, I know F.U. Bailey is busy because I saw him on TV last night. Well, I tell you what prison are you in?
I'm in 120 Skirmorn Street.
All right, well, if there's any lawyers listening that want to represent the Cork man, get right over there and see if you can't help him out. And Corky, when you get out, just stay away from your wife.
And
I'm
try
even going to look at her.
Try not to say the
I
things.
can't even believe that she could have me locked up. I've done so much for her,
Well, she
How
did.
does she not understand that I'm just a human being and I should be angry about stuff? But I never did nothing to anybody.
Dude, there's a lot of people who are in prison. I'm in prison right here at 600 Madison Avenue. One prison is another prison. You know what I mean? It's just every prison is a prison. You know what I'm saying, my friend?
I don't know what to say.
I'm giving jailhouse logic, Robin.
All I know is you can't go around saying to a woman who just left you.
The phone here behind me. Want to talk to him?
Wait a second, I can't hear you. What?
Talk to him?
He says guys are wrestling him for the phone. Do you want to talk to them?
Sure.
Hold on. The guy wants to talk.
Oh, man, you never put domestic violence. You never.
Forget about it.
What do you say?
Hold on. He wants to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
Yeah.
What you in for, brother?
Attempted murder, police have tried to frame me.
The police are trying to frame you?
Yeah.
What are they saying you did?
I tried to shot one of them, some woman.
You tried to shoot a woman?
Yeah.
Did you kill her?
Oh, man.
Hey, dude, don't you curse, all right?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, serious, Howard.
Well, you're in a good place.
Yeah, forget that. I'm in hell here.
I'll tell you one thing, man. I wouldn't be threatening anybody. You want to get out of there. All right. So,
remember this place when you want to make one of those threats.
yeah.
I didn't threaten her. I was just arguing with her, you know?
said something about beating up a boyfriend.
Who knows what I said? When people fight, they say all kinds of stuff.
Boy, that dude you just put on sounded pretty aggressive.
Oh, forget about it, Howard. You wouldn't believe what's over here, man. Forget about it.
Oh, I think you could.
It's a nightmare over there. All right, dude. So, if any lawyers can help out Corky, but Corky, when you get out, you got to assure me you're going to leave Elaine alone, all right?
I'll never get a look at that girl ever again.
Very good. That's what I want to hear.
Sick.
That's right.
I slept on the floor underneath the bench last night, all right?
All right.
They had me in handcuffs till like 12 o'clock at night.
All right. Well, now we know we've learned our lesson, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Man, it's the worst.
All right. Well, I'm sure someone in our audience, there's a million piranha floating around who have law degrees.
Howard, I gotta
They
give
can
this
smell
guy
the blood in the water.
I'm sorry?
Howard, I got to give the guy the phone.
Okay, yeah, I don't blame you. I'd give it to him. Give it to him.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll phone the number.
When that guy tells you to get off, you get off.
He was a brave man to stay on as long as he
Yeah.
Hey, man, what you doing, man? The police, they're trying to find me, man.
Man, they say I shot some woman.
I should know.
I don't care what that guy did. I don't want to know from it. Guilty. Don't put me on that jury. Oh, man.
F you.
F you. F you, man.
If you mind.
The guy started cursing me out because I asked him if he was Colin Ferguson.
Sounded like it.
He sure did.
But he was framed.
He was framed. Yeah.
They say I shoot some woman.
I've been framed, man.
Is she dead?
Well.
That's a technicality.
Yeah. Not my fault, man. Oh, man.
It's Mom.
No wonder OJ's losing weight.
I don't think his lockup could be anything like that.
I was reading the paper this morning. Somehow they now found more blood. OJ's blood all over a gate.
Yes, OJ. Well, not all over. Again, you exaggerate. They found OJ's blood on the gate.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because they're only finding droplets of blood. I don't know why, but it's never like an overwhelming amount of blood.
Right.
Just OJ's blood.
Yeah, just OJ's only shows up. If someone else's would show up, it would be okay. Poor OJ. Guess he got caught.
He's a leaky dude. He's got a bleeding thing going on.
And they say that his key witness, the woman who, of course, spotted the Bronco.
The little maid from the house next door.
Who spotted the Bronco, OJ's Bronco, at OJ's house while he was supposedly committing these murders. She's fled the country.
Yeah, she's back in El Salvador.
Yeah, so he might be at that witness, and of course his other witness is no good now because she's in jail or something, or up on charges. Well,
she's got a lot of charges against her.
Yeah, and then
things are looking bad for OJ.
Yeah, things looking real bad.
You know, they said she didn't even go for a visit. She moved back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh yeah, she fled the country because she doesn't want to deal with it.
You know the spin that OJ's lawyers are putting on it?
Yeah.
She was in fear of some retaliation.
Oh.
And it's a shame that one of our witnesses, in fear of retaliation, has fled the country.
Yeah. Sure.
Those guys can come up with a story like that.
Oh, I know. And, like, let's say there was a drug cartel that did it. Why would they bother threatening her? No one believes her anyway. That would only give her credibility.
Yeah. Why didn't OJ slap some guards around her? Give me a break.
If she's scared of anyone, she's scared of OJ. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
I told you this would be a good one. Never in my life. Yeah. Legendary Leslie West. I was on the phone with Leslie last night. I called him. See how he was doing.
How is he doing?
Oh, no, he's doing great.
Every time you snicker like that, I don't know.
He has an album coming out. You know, career-wise, he's doing great. Has an album coming out that Fred wrote one of the songs with
Yes,
Leslie.
I know.
And that'll be out in April. Fred, you wrote the
songwriter.
Fred, you wrote the lyrics?
Yeah, it was like just some kind of whim thing. It's like he had a musical idea, and he says, see if you can write some lyrics for this. So I wrote it. He threw that musical idea out, but he kept the lyrics.
Yeah.
And made it to the record.
Yeah, and I understand you own a portion of the song now.
I guess so.
Yeah. Leslie's very generous.
He's a very generous man.
Yes.
5%.
Will you ever read the lyrics to us as a poem so that we can...
You want to know something? I'm going to have to get the finished lyrics from Leslie because he changed them all around.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
All right.
Big time.
Well, yeah, he can't let you just write the lyrics and be done with it.
Cannot leave things alone.
Yeah. Well, he's got to put 9 hours of guitar music around those 2 words you wrote. He's got to stretch those out.
I can't wait to hear this song. Have you heard it?
No, have not heard it. Probably we will hear it in April, I understand.
There you go.
There you go.
No preview.
I can play it for you privately, but I guess he's not allowed to play it in public yet.
I don't know. I think he wants to wait till the album's out on the market. Okay.
You don't want to listen to it in private with Fred, huh?
Not really. I don't want to be in private with Fred. I'd listen to it if he's not in the room.
Well, I'll do that for you.
Do you actually have a tape of it?
I actually do have it.
All right, yeah, play it for me privately. I'd like to hear it. As long as you're not in the room.
Okay.
And he's doing good health-wise, you know. His feet are still on.
Okay. Yeah, I saw him walking the other day.
He had a scare. You know about this, Fred?
The one where he was...
With his toe clippers?
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
Toe clippers.
Is this new?
Well, you know, when you're...
Toe clippers.
Before, I heard the blister story.
Well, normally they're called nail clippers. Do you know about this?
No.
See, when you're a diabetic, like Leslie is, you're not supposed to...
Clip your toenails.
Yeah, because you're supposed to have the doctor do it because they don't want you messing around with your feet because the circulation is so bad that anything can go wrong. Because like when Leslie gets a blister, then 2 days later they're saying, well, we're going to have to cut your feet off.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, so he got all nervous about that. So anyway, Leslie was all happy because he went out and bought a professional pair of nail clippers. They tell him, he goes to the doctor and they say, do not cut your toenails. So Leslie goes out and buys a professional doctor's toenail scissor.
He thinks that they just mean you need a professional equipment.
I don't know why he would bother buying. But you know, it's a real pain in the ass every time you have to get your toenails clipped to go to the doctor. So Leslie went out and bought a professional toenail clipper. He went and clipped his nail, except he clipped off a little piece of his toe.
Oh, no.
And I had to share this with you because I've been thinking about it ever since you told me. And of course, because he's a diabetic, now he's like missing a chunk of his toe. And some blood was just like, you know.
Oh, right. He's got to go to the hospital.
Yeah. He just it's toenail clippers, but he took off his whole toe. So slowly but surely, a piece of his feet are coming off.
Those feet are hanging by a thread.
They really are.
They're coming off.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Because he goes, I moved in with my new girlfriend, you know, and she came home and found me laying on the floor with the blood gushing out of my toe and wrapped it up. I said, boy, she must be having a party.
That's an excellent sight.
Yeah, I'm sure that's romantic.
It's like a suicide.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he cut his toes.
I didn't have the balls to slash my wrist. I did it with my toe. You thought Hendrix had an embarrassing death.
Yeah, Leslie's going to top that.
Yeah. Let's see. Hendrix choked on his own vomit. I'm going to cut off my own feet. Only with Leslie, toenail clippers and the word scare would be in the same sentence. A toenail clipper scare. Unbelievable, right? Yeah.
It could only happen to him. Those things don't happen to other people.
Yeah, but he's okay, and I called him because he...
How long did this hospital stay last?
Nah, I don't know. I think it was...
An overnight or something?
They evidently tried to reattach the portion of his toe, but it wouldn't take.
Came off?
Yeah. What?
Which toe?
Pinky toe. I think. I got the impression it was a pinky toe, but I could be wrong.
Well, those are tricky.
Oh, yeah.
How in the world can you cut off that much of your toe?
He must have taken a good...
What do you get? One of those big clippers that's like almost like a hedge?
Yeah, you know, like those professional clippers. They almost look like hole punchers.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what I think he's talking about.
So he didn't know what he had in there.
Got barbed wire with those.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole toe could have come off.
Yeah. Which evidently it must have. Well, just a little chunk of it. It's okay.
He survives heroin and nearly bleeds.
One knuckle.
Yeah. Leslie's a lot better with a hypo than he is with a toenail clipper.
With that.
Never. Always was well trained in that.
Mr. Sure Shot there.
Yeah.
You're keeping the blood in.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, by the way, one of our listeners just sent me a picture of a woman's vagina. Not that there's a man's vagina, but... And he said to me, see if you can guess the ethnic background and the age of the woman just by looking at the picture. And I wish he would send me the answer because I've made my guess.
You can't wait.
Yeah, I say this is a woman. It's just a picture of her genitals. And I say she's a woman between 50 and 60 and a Hispanic. Here, Jackie, look. See if you can take a guess. Take a guess.
Black and white makes it tricky.
I'm a vagina detective.
Black and white makes it tricky. Oh, he'd be able to tell in color.
Well,
this is what the man said. All right. 22-year-old white girl. Well, let's see.
We'll see. I wish the guy would send us his answer.
By the way, we have a new intern around here. His name is Danny. The kid's a genius.
He is a genius?
Oh, yeah.
Did we win?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, we made a lot of money last night. We made $800. There's a kid named Danny here who just started, who has a gambling problem. He's a college student and went about $5,300 in debt and had
He's not a college student. He can't go to college.
That's right. He's $5,300 in debt, and his parents sent him college tuition money, so he paid off his bookie with the college tuition. And now he's our intern. So... Anyway, to make a long story short, he's good at picking these different games, and I said to him, all right, you're so good, pick a game out of the newspaper right now. He took an obscure game. It was the Indiana Pacers against the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
And he said...
With a 9-point spread, right?
Well, yeah, there was a 9-point spread. If you bet Detroit, you immediately gain 9 points. Mm-hmm. We bet the Pacers. He said that the Pacers would outstrip the point spread, which they did. I think the score was like 88 to 114. Yeah.
Cool.
You checked too this morning.
Oh,
huh?
yeah. First
me too.
I sat down. I looked on the paper.
Absolutely.
You two could get the bug, you know.
Well, now that we won 100, let's roll it over.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Wait a minute.
Let's get Danny on the phone.
What do you mean roll it over?
Well, next week when Danny comes in,
make another bet.
We'll make another bet.
Double or nothing.
Yeah, but wait a minute. That's 200 now we have.
That's right.
That's right.
To bet with.
That's right.
You're going to bet the whole 200.
That's right.
Oh, my.
What about you?
No. See, I'd like 100 back and just bet my winning.
Do what you want. You don't make money that way.
On a roll.
We're on a roll.
I don't lose money that way.
Well, you do what you want. But Dominic owes about 8 people here $100 apiece.
That's true. Ooh. So is he going to cover the bet for next week?
I don't know. I'll talk to him about it.
Gotta talk to him.
I'm taking my 200 and I'm going with Danny's pick next week.
The whole 200.
Wait, you're wrong.
Now I'm playing with the house's money.
What's the matter? What are you talking about? You're 200.
Well, actually, I'll play with 100.
We bet $100 each.
Right.
So we didn't give 100, so it really is only 100.
It really is only 100. What you're saying is like maybe you would bet 50 and keep 50.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that as long as I don't have any money out of my pocket, that 100 can stay with Dominic.
All right.
Oh, that's rolling it over.
All right. We'll roll over.
Right. Roll over.
Roll over, Red Rover.
But I can see that you and Fred could really get this bug. And one of these days, you may be calling me from Mexico. Robin, I can't come back to the country.
Meanwhile, I see you right in there betting with us.
Oh, yeah.
You could rationalize it any way you want.
I didn't check the paper.
I see.
She's bitten.
It's free money.
Of course.
I didn't check the...
Because you have me to do it for you.
Well, have it.
Yeah.
You're sounding just like Danny his first week.
Got $100.
Did we find out if Danny himself wound up betting on the game?
We'll find out next Wednesday.
Well, if the Pacers won, obviously he didn't.
Uh-huh. Well, there we are.
You know, he's taking more people down this road.
Hey, I'm out of college. I don't care if I lose my tuition money. So I look at it. Well, anyway, so we won that bet.
That's Gambling Dan on the phone.
Hey, Gambling Danny.
How you doing, Howard?
How you doing, dude?
Dude, I was so nervous last night.
Good. That's what you like.
I felt like I had the 700 or 800 on the game.
Did you watch the game?
No, it wasn't on TV, but the greatest invention in the last 2 years in TV is that sports ticker that goes on, like, Channel 46 or whatever, headline news.
Yeah.
It's just like constant score, so I was just like sitting there watching it for like 3 hours.
Yeah. Watching the game results.
Yeah.
This is what he loves.
So did you stay up and wait for the result of the game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when we beat the point spread, you were all excited, right?
Yeah, but they were losing at halftime. I was like, oh, man.
Well, what do you think? Should we... they were losing at halftime?
Yeah.
Indiana was losing?
Yeah, they were losing by 2 at halftime.
Oh, big deal. That's nothing. So did you end up betting on the game?
No.
Good.
Well, if I bet, you guys would have lost.
That's
right. All right, so next Wednesday you'll come in and we'll roll over the 100.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
All right, I'm counting on you.
Okay.
All right. And don't put a lot of thought into it. Wait till you come in here. We'll hand you the paper, and then you just look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't prepare.
Yeah, don't prepare anything.
No problem.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I bet you a lot of people made money last night on that. A lot of people. And, you know, normally...
We're all going down the tubes together.
You know what? A game that was previously inconsequential. Indiana played Detroit last night. We never would have known about it.
Nobody would have cared.
No, wouldn't have cared. It didn't matter. If the whole NBA blew up, it wouldn't have mattered.
Come up.
And here it is. That game became an important game.
I think that sports needs this gambling.
It does. If you don't have the gambling, it's just no point in watching. We watch 5 black guys try to put a little ball through a little hole.
And you know they can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they can't. And I suppose there's some artistry there, but who cares?
Yeah, they're some guy's holding his hands up.
Yeah.
They just about let each other do it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got to take a break. It's 6:33. We'll be back at 6:33 here in New York. 33 minutes past the hour, wherever the hell you are. And we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show.
Right.
It's 6:47 and 97.1 The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagle's toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN.
Lucky is a
with The Howard Stern Show.
A lot of people don't know that about him. All right. That's what you get when you walk around the halls here. You get caught in a conversation with Bucky. Skiing.
Lucky you.
Lucky Bucky and
I've
me.
never had that pleasure.
No, you haven't. You're smart. You don't walk around the hall like I do. I'm reading this. I told you I'd bring this in for you.
What's that?
This article from Rick Dees in Los Angeles.
Oh, yes, how he prepares.
Yeah. So this is from Radio and Records, which is a radio industry trade paper. You know, other disc jockeys read this, basically. And, of course, Rick Dees talks about how he's thinking of syndicating his morning show. Of course, he puts me down in the article and says that he wishes I wasn't so hateful. And, of course, he beats me every rating period, he says, which I still don't know where he gets that from.
And they just print that.
Yeah, Radio and
Nobody
Records.
questions it.
No. I mean, Radio Records knows it's not true, but they just print it anyway, and they don't even challenge him on it because they don't want to be too controversial.
There wouldn't be anything wrong with saying, well, Dees says this, the ratings show.
Yeah, and then they print the ratings, and they just give one demographic, women, where he actually beats me. You know, but big deal. I mean, you know, so what? Doesn't beat me in the ratings.
Thanks for being a great reporter.
Yeah. And quite frankly, the trouncing isn't that great for a female radio station. So anyway, he's giving his philosophy of radio, and of course he's putting me down and everything. Meanwhile, he's thinking of syndicating his morning radio show, which
and
of course...
where did he get that idea?
Yeah, which I innovated. He's been in radio a lot longer than me. Why didn't he ever do it?
All he can ever do is take other people's ideas.
Yeah.
He took Casey's and started a countdown show.
That's why I hate this business. A dickwad like this sees what I've done. I innovate the entire industry, and then he decides he's going to do it, and then he puts me down.
Right. You're worthless.
And Radio and Record doesn't say, well, how can you put him down? I mean, here you're looking at syndication, all these exciting ventures, and Howard Stern's made that all possible for you. He's made the idea acceptable.
So in some sense, you must love him.
Yeah, well, you know. But guys in my industry, you know, you even see like in the film industry, they give each other awards, and people are sort of patting each other on the back. In the television industry, people do have some camaraderie. But in radio, it's filled with such dickwads. Because in radio, there's me. I come up with tons of ideas. And then there's everybody else who sits there and goes, well, maybe we should do something like that.
Right.
That's my industry. I don't see anything other than the basic blueprint that I laid out 20 years ago. I don't see anything else going on. Yeah. I don't see anybody doing anything except what I do.
Do you ever wonder whether that stuff in radio and, I mean, in television and the movies is real? You know, all those people standing up going, oh, it's such an honor to be nominated with these other wonderful people.
I think, though, that I think there are certain people in the movie industry and the television industry that are held in high regard because of the innovations that they've brought.
Oh, that's true. Yes, absolutely.
And even though everyone's jealous and they wish they could be doing it, they do acknowledge the innovation. And in our industry, no one will do that. But, okay, so then Rick Dees is talking about how he prepares for his show. You got to hear this. What is the secret to your success, they ask him.
Nobody's caught him.
Yeah. His secret to his success is that there's so many lamos in the business that a no talent like him could actually succeed.
I have not been discovered for the no talent.
Right.
I am.
He can actually have a long career, a long and lucrative career. He says, I prepare and practice. Now, this is a guy who spins about 12 records an hour. I don't know what he's practicing, but...
Well, you know what he did practice was putting more people in that studio with him.
Yeah.
So they'd have somebody to talk to.
I prepare and practice. If you were to ask any world-class musician or performer, now he's a world-class musician or performer.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a guy...
What other country is he in?
Yeah. This is a guy who used to make duck noises on the air. And quite frankly, now he's kind of put in a position where he has to compete, so he has to interview some people, and he's put a whole, as you say, bunch of people in the studio with him so that he can sound like he's alive.
Sure.
This is a guy who never talked to anybody on the radio a couple of years ago. He says, well, if you talk to any world-class musician or performer with all of the concerts you perform, do you still practice? And their response probably would be about 8 hours a day. I practice. And then I do the performance. Whether you're Eddie Van Halen or a concert pianist or morning show host, you must learn to practice. Okay, all right, whatever. It's a dicky answer. Then they say, well, where and when do you practice?
That was a good question.
Yeah, that I got to hand it to Radio and Records. That was a good question. Because I would never ask that question. I would just assume that he practices and...
Yeah, I take my hat off to whoever asked that question.
Quite frankly, the guy's been on the air for 20 years, 4 hours a day. I would think that he gets enough practice just doing it.
And he's really not doing that much.
Yeah. When he gave me that answer, I would have fainted, and I never would have had a follow-up question. I got to admit, so Radio and Records is a better interviewer than I am. So where do you practice? I practice all the time. For example, when I'm in my car, it may look like I'm talking on my phone, but I'm practicing interviews with people.
Wait a minute. So he sits there talking to nobody.
Right.
In his car.
Yeah, in his car. I guess he pretends not only to be the interviewer, but he has to pretend to be the interviewee.
Yeah, I guess like he has an imaginary person sitting in the passenger seat, and he's taking both roles.
Yeah. Also, when I go to the bathroom, I interview each log. Oh, really? What kind of interviewing techniques do you use? Obviously now this is a very...
techniques.
Yeah, techniques.
Ooh.
I don't feel most personalities are trained to interview people. Imagine you have a person... So he's saying most personalities are trained. Like there's a training school to have a personality. Rick is still trying to figure out, how do I get a personality?
He didn't get to the school.
Yeah, I don't feel most personalities are trained to interview people. As if anybody's had any training in talking. I use role models. If you're going to model yourself after any particular interviewer, Barbara Walters comes to mind. So you're going to ask inane questions, lob softball questions. And Larry King is also excellent. Larry King, who gets less than a 1 rating. That's who you're modeling yourself on. When I'm modeling myself after Barbara Walters, I put a bra on. I put a bra on and drive around my car. No, he didn't say that.
That'd be fun.
That'd actually be funny if he did that. Most interviewers fall into the trap of getting nervous and not listening. If you really listen during your interviews, in other words, not say anything, you'll get enough material to last for hours. You just have to keep following up. Most personalities have their set questions in mind, and when they just read without listening or following up, it's a disaster.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
So, you learn that after 20 years that you have to listen to what someone... Well, duh. I mean, yeah.
Well, why didn't that TV show take off?
Yeah. What happened there? Yeah, but
all you did was interview.
Yeah, you had people on the couch every night. What happened to your TV show that lasted, 2 months?
You're so damn good. What the hell happened?
Well, I think he had forgotten to practice. He was so busy that he didn't have time in his car. If he had just had some time to practice. He needs practice interviewing because most personalities aren't taught. What a dick. What an absolute dick. And he wonders why he gets his ass whipped in the ratings. And then there's a big quote. He goes, I have to admit, it feels good beating Howard Stern in the ratings. And it's like, well, where did you do that? When? When did that happen?
That's in your dreams, just like that person in your car you're interviewing.
Keep dreaming, dick. don't you go home and talk to that wife who does all those bad impressions?
I think he has a whole imaginary life.
Yeah. He's talking to himself in his car. I'd lock him up. A dickwad. He's just a dickwad. And then they say, what's the best promotion you ever did? Radio promotion? Because, I mean, okay, he's a top 40 DJ. What they do is wacky promotion and stuff. That's what they're, you know.
Yeah. Known for.
And, of course, he doesn't think him up anyway. But here he goes. He goes... You have to read this whole interview. It's just unbelievable. But he goes, well, you know, like, what are some of the cool things you've done in terms of promotion? Well, he says, probably when they threw me off the air for something I said one day. We turned it into a TV commercial. Did you hear what Rick Dees said this morning? And we apologized for what Rick Dees said this morning. So the guy says, well, what did you say? Well, to this day, it's the most closely guarded secret in broadcasting. It would shut down radio and records if I tell you. So, in other words, he didn't say anything. The station just said, well, say he said something.
Right.
And everyone will tune in to hear what he said.
Yeah, we'll throw Rick off the air. Nobody will have listened and known that he didn't say anything anyway.
Yeah, like no one in Los Angeles knows that Rick Dees doesn't say anything anyway, because he's a nincompoop. There isn't a person in L.A. who doesn't hate that guy. Segueing from live commercials to the music to weather and contests, you really know how to sell. How do you get into that rhythm and keep it going?
Oh, now the interviewer's becoming a dick.
Well, yeah, I know. I hit a button and they play the next element. What do you mean? How do you keep it going? I try to tap into what people are thinking about. So he gives an answer that has nothing to do with what the guy just said. For example, just because you're on the radio, you shouldn't be afraid to talk about colors and smells. If communicated properly, they send a very powerful visual message to the listener. Paint a picture in the listener's mind. Make them smell that fresh food, cooking on the grill, or that sexy perfume. I'd like to see him do that. What a dick. Don't say it's the building on the left. Try, it's a brownstone-colored building. It's a brownstone-colored building on the left with ivy coming up and a nest of pigeons in the right-hand corner. Well, why do I care? Part of an old black pipe has broken off the building. Speak it in colors and smells. It really works. You met him, right, Jackie? I met him once. He's a real douche. I was on a boat in New Orleans.
Right, yeah.
I wanted to kick him in the nuts. I'm on this...
He's bland.
I had this syndicated show, and I had to go to New Orleans to sell it because most people are afraid to put me on the radio and junk. So the syndication company rents out this big boat, party boat, to have this big party for me. So he comes on, and he's like hunched over like a woman. You know when an old woman walks, like with a dowager's hump?
Right, like slouched shoulders. And
yeah, and he has a real feminine sweater on. I thought he was a homo. I really did. I said to my agent, I said, I think Rick Dees is a homo.
He carries himself.
He carries himself like a girl, right?
Gently, kind of.
Yeah, gently. I mean, real gently. And the big goofy smile. And he was sulking around the boat and, like, not talking. He came on this boat. It was filled with radio people, and he's sulking in the corner like like Prince or something.
Right, like he doesn't want to be bothered?
Yeah, like I'm the king of the hill
he
here.
He doesn't like crowds because he's so very old and he wears so much makeup. When you see him up close,
it's frightening.
He's older than David Preston.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to put it, but the guy is wearing like this V-neck sweater and like, you know, he's like real soft and doughy looking, and he's bent over and he's got the face of a woman, but like not a scary woman. It's like Richard Simmons with a microphone, and he's like in the corner, and he's surrounded by a bunch of like sycophants, like agent types and managers, and I don't know. Like I went over, he gave me the limp handshake. Like, oh hi, and the big
dead fish
and the big phony smile and kissing my ass and everything, you know, because he knew who his king is. But you know, it was like wow.
I haven't had the pleasure.
Just the only word that comes to my mind is it's a hyphenated word, super effeminate. And yet he's not a homo. I know he's married. I mean, maybe he could be, but I don't know anything about him. As far as I know, he's a heterosexual, but he's just he's an effeminate heterosexual. It's the only way I can say it. I mean, you're around him and you feel like you're with a girl, an ugly girl, and big weird teeth. And
I know those teeth have always been frightening to me.
And then he's got his theories on radio, and none of them work.
But he's not bothered.
No, because he doesn't because, he just says, well, I won. Yeah. And even if you ask him about his old TV show that lasted 2 months, he's the guy. There was a show called Solid Gold on TV.
Yes.
Solid Gold was like this. All you do was count down the hits.
And it was a franchise. Been going for years. Didn't matter who the host was.
The thing was huge. It was the worst show on television. So they hired Rick Dees. They got sick of the host. He wasn't young enough or whatever. I don't know what happened. Or the host left.
They went through a bunch of them. The first Dionne Warwick, then Andy Gibb, and then somebody else, and then Rick Dees.
Yeah, and whoever did it, they basically got ratings, and that was it.
Didn't matter.
And I guess like Dionne Warwick went on to her Psychic Friends Network, and Andy Gibb killed himself, and whatever it was. And then Rick Dees took over, and the show was off the air in like 3 months.
And they had a bunch of sexy girls running around dancing to these stupid songs.
He turned so many people off that they didn't want to watch the show anymore. and then they gave him a show on ABC. I guess a couple of years had gone by, and everyone forgot that fiasco.
All right.
And he convinced a bunch of those nitwits in Hollywood that he was actually happening.
Well, he had these theories on interviewing.
Yeah. So he went on and did a show for ABC called Rick Dees Into the Night or something.
And they bent over backwards to try and keep that thing on the air. Nobody could keep that on.
Nobody got more of a chance than Rick.
They did everything they could with the affiliates, and everybody's like, no!
You're right. Everyone was jumping ship, and
it was like Quest for Fire.
ABC forced the affiliates to stay with the program. Everything that
and then
so they fired Rick, and Rick was still saying in interviews, I think it was very successful.
Positive experience.
Yeah, it was a positive experience. I think that, we got screwed a little bit on... he came up with something like, Nightline was on, and, maybe the two didn't mix. And,
there wasn't a compatibility after the Nightline audience.
And ABC had been really gracious. I don't say networks are gracious. They're not. I mean, you saw, even when Fox fired Chevy Chase, and Chevy was horrible, but, I mean, Fox itself...
the things they said.
Fox turned around and started screaming about Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
And it was really not classy. They should have, just let him go off, and that would have been the end of it.
And there have been many times that has happened. It's not only Fox. Other networks, they really try to kill you when they get rid of you.
They get rid of you because they want to make it seem like they're really smart, and they really knew all along. They want to do a backpedal. Because they're embarrassed that they even bought into the concept of Chevy Chase having a talk show. So, now, it's like Rick Dees, ABC bent over backwards, was real nice, they gave it a try, whatever. Rick Dees tries to stick it to him and say, I own that time slot. You guys still, and no matter who you put on, I still own the show. Great guy to do business with.
That was one of the things he was saying, that it was a success because he was going to continue to executive produce or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm leaving as host, but I'm going to be the executive producer. Now, why would you want him as your executive producer? A guy who had just failed miserably.
He had already proved that he knew nothing about talk shows.
Yeah.
My football.
Yeah.
I'm off the team, but it's still my
football. I mean, ABC still wants me executive producer.
Yeah.
And for a while, somehow contractually, ABC must have been in a coma when they wrote up this contract because they were all excited they were getting Rick Dees. And somehow when they were in a coma, they agreed to this. And Rick Dees actually was the executive producer for a few weeks, and then he just canned the whole damn show. What a pisser that guy is. I think he's funny. I don't think he's funny on the air. I think he's funny off the air.
But he is tenacious. He won't let go. He doesn't care how embarrassing a situation is, how bad things are going.
Yeah.
He will just stick in there. He started making television radio.
Yeah.
He started giving away money to try to attract listeners.
And he just keeps that big, stupid, feminine smile on his face, and everything works out. It's funny. And now now his big thing is that that the radio you hear today isn't so good. And the reason is, they say, what about radio role models for future morning personalities? Who should people look up to? He says, unfortunately, a lot of the personalities you hear on the radio today are kind of like non-performers. You don't hear the good voices that used to be on the radio anymore. So, in other words, of course, he subscribes that if you got a big, deep voice, a big,
and
dumb...
that's all he is.
Yeah, big, dumb announcer's voice, then you're good.
Might be a hollow log.
He longs for the days when everybody just had a big, dumb voice and didn't say anything. It used to be the bigger the market, the deeper the voice. Today, in many markets, you've got 2 hicks, a yapping. The standards have dropped a bit.
2 hicks, a yapping.
Yeah, like his yapping is any better.
He's just a big, deep voiced hick.
Yeah.
Memphis, isn't he?
Yeah, the bigger the voice, the better the disc jockey.
How you doing, everybody? Rick Dees with you. I'm in the #1 market in the world, New York, because listen to my voice. I've got the testicles of an elephant. Thank you.
Bigger the market, the deeper the voice. I never heard that one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, that used to be true because I remember when I was thinking of going into radio, I turn on the radio and I get like radio, you know, even if I went on a trip or someone would send me a tape from California of a radio guy, and it was always a guy like, you know, hey everybody, it's Charlie Tuna at KABC. How you doing, everyone? KCBQ, Charlie Tuna Show. You know, whatever the hell the guy's name was. And I'd sit there and I'd go, I can't do that. How am I ever going to get in radio? So it occurred to me not to play up the voice thing and just maybe get some content going. Big mistake, huh? And we ruined it.
So he laments that. What kind of a role model would you be if all you had to do was have a deep voice?
Yeah.
Nobody can create a deep voice for themselves.
Well, that's why guys like him long for those days, because it was, you know.
But the guy's asking him about role models.
Yeah.
So if you're patterning yourself after someone because you want to emulate them, you have to rely on genetics? Is that what Rick is saying?
Well, yeah. Yeah. That's basically what he's saying. He's an imbecile. He's just an imbecile. It's the dumbest interview I've ever read. And I read this and I go out of my mind because these are the top nitwits in our business. Imagine what's going on in this state.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember as a little kid listening to the radio and waiting for somebody to say something.
Yeah, anything.
Anything.
And it was always funny to me that these grown men were making these stupid noises.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like dumb animal noises and you know, and just like, you know, and getting excited.
Yeah.
You know, this is Cousin Bruce. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? You know.
And I'm sending out those birthday wishes to...
Yeah, moron. Radio DJ equals moron.
Yeah. And then they would always be their own news person.
Yeah. So
they'd be yakking it up for 40 minutes, and then for 5 minutes they were like, hello there, this is the news. And you say, that's that stupid guy who was just yelling at me.
Well.
Loved radio.
It's pretty bad. More predictable than the signs on the Long Island Expressway radio, as you would tune that in. I got to take a break. We'll be back. I'm going to take some of your phone calls. We have a ton of things to get to. I have a lot of cool stuff to play for you today, right after these words.
Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
All right. And Jackie the Joke Man Martling to order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Friday night, March 17th at Chuckles in Mineola on Long Island. It's Jackie. For filthy jokes and info, call 516-9221. Remember, 516-9221 is not a pay service.
Oh, oh.
Oh is right.
Oh.
Oh. Hi, you're on the air.
I'm on the air?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. May I talk to Howard?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh. How you doing, Howard?
Let me hang up. I think he called just to see if he could get through. Let's go to our newest market, San Diego, our first week in San Diego. I did receive one article out of San Diego. I can't get the San Diego the radio station to send me the articles that come out on us.
What do you think that's all about?
I guess when you become number one in one day, you just get complacent. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Howard.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Okay. Why do I suspect you have nothing to say?
Because I don't have a lot to say at all.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's see the press. It's a typical article. Howard Stern, radio's vulgarian with a vengeance. Blew into San Diego. I thought I wasn't vulgar. Blew into San Diego yesterday morning as 91X FM 91.1. Isn't that college radio at 91.1?
No, I think that's that 89 to 90.
Is that right? I think we're on college radio. Well, our transmitter is in Mexico in San Diego, so maybe it's different there. Like you can be at 91.
What is that little band? Is it? I thought it was. Maybe it's 88 to 90.
Yeah. All I know is when you get that far to the left, you're practically in college radio.
Yeah, you could slip off into it.
No wonder they have no ratings. We're very close to college radio there. But anyway, 91X FM 91.1 took the daring step of becoming the first local station to carry Howard Stern's syndicated show. Quote, they're quoting me now, "I will wipe out the competition in San Diego like the earthquakes wiped out the Japs," the shock jock told listeners from
That is not what you said.
I didn't. What did I say?
Not an exact quote. I was listening to you very closely when you started that statement, and you said the Japanese.
No, yeah, I put in Japs. They did say Japanese. That's all right.
Oh, you.
Right. What's the difference? The shock jock told listeners... Boy, you've got a good memory. The shock jock told listeners from his New York studio, where his morning show originates and is heard in 18 cities, quote, I am funnier than a Mongoloid Scrabble tournament. Now, you know I did say that.
That was an exact quote.
It's funny to see it in the paper, though. Yeah, I mean, you know what? They took it out of context. Let's be fair.
Like the context was any better.
That was a part of a body of statements. Much of what Stern said on his inaugural show here is so vulgar and to his fans outrageously funny that it can't be printed verbatim in this newspaper.
And I beg to differ. I don't think we talked about anything particularly touchy that day.
Well, you don't know the limits of this newspaper. They might be, Puritans. Suffice to say, Stern served up his usual staccato bursts of slurs, insults, and vulgarities, mostly lewd references to sexual acts. I don't recall doing that. Male and female body parts, crude bodily functions, and other oddments of his attack-style verbal repertoire.
Oddments?
Yeah, oddments. O-D-D-M-E-N-T-S.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Quote, my show is like a bad gas, Stern said. You will learn to love our stench. And actually I said it's like a bad fart, but they wrote in the paper gas. Whether many San Diego radio listeners will embrace Stern's antics remains to be seen, blah, blah, blah. It's...
Always, they say that.
Right. Of course.
It always remains to be seen. The rest of the country's going, but it remains to be seen if we'll go too.
Previous morning show host, Russ T. Nails. And they write that like it's serious. Russ, R-U-S-S, T, middle name, middle initial, Nails, N-A-I-L-Z.
Like that's a real name.
Yeah, Russ T. Nails. Talks about how we replaced him and all that kind of stuff. Stern referred to San Diego's top-rated morning team, Q106 FM's Jeff and Jer, as Jeff and Cher, and called them weak and wimpy. Well, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. I saw their pictures. It's pretty frightening. Talk about two guys who look like your grandfather. It always amazes me when I see radio guys who, have cool jobs where you can go to the radio station, wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
So they can wear whatever they want, and they choose, like, their dad's golf pants. Jeff and Jer wear their dad's golf pants and, like, sweaters, cardigan sweaters. And they can wear whatever they want to work. They don't have to dress like accountants. That amazes me. Like, they can wear a pair of jeans and...
But that just goes to show you the level of creativity.
Right.
I mean, even in their clothing.
It doesn't occur to them that they could just dress any way they want.
They don't get imaginative.
They could wear shorts and have their, their sack hanging out of the bottom of the shorts, and no one would care, as long as they've delivered the ratings. That's the cool thing about going into radio. At least you don't have to get dressed for work. You might have to get up early, but you don't have to get dressed. Dickheads. Anyway, so, and that's pretty much the gist of the article. Nothing about being innovators and nothing.
No, of course not. You're just a vulgarian.
San Diego, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just wanted to call from here in San Diego, say how I thought you sucked so bad.
Oh.
Well, thank you. At least you have something to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, we get all these nerds calling from San Diego with nothing to say, and I just thought I'd call and say that you suck. And
do you really think that, or you just thought you'd say it?
I just thought I'd say it because...
It's the only way to get on the air.
In San Diego, saying anything worthwhile. So.
Well, may I say you suck as well?
All right.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Right. New York, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Howard Stern.
Yeah, you're on the air.
How's it going? Yeah, I got a big story going down over here in San Pedro, California, and it involves a high school and only winning football coach in their history and a teacher that the kids are backing. It's too hard to explain. Every kid's going to walk off the campus Friday at 7:50.
Maybe we are on college radio.
Ever since we moved down to 91 on the dial, it's we're dangerously close to college radio. Now we're discussing
school news.
We're discussing campus issues. So everyone at the high school is going to walk out at 7:15?
At 7:50. And I got a blues band showing up and a
You know
bunch
what's funny?
of public figures.
When I was in high school, there was always rumors that this was going to be the day we all walked out, and it never works.
You kept waiting for somebody to walk out so you could follow.
The teachers hear about it, and they just go, if anybody walks out, you're suspended,
That's
and you
right,
just sit in your
you'll get
damn
an
chair.
effort
That's already happening right now.
Dude, no one's walking out.
You don't think so?
Yeah, and as long as we're doing the news here, the lunchroom is closed for repairs today. If anyone is thinking of brown bagging it, that would be a good idea.
What is on the menu? No menu?
The menu says pizza and cheese sticks with salad on the side, but that hot lunch won't be served. So please bring your brown bags. You dick.
Oh.
Albany, you're on the air.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Howard.
Yeah.
What's going on?
If one more person asks me that, I'm going to punch my radio.
Oh, sorry, man.
All
hey,
right.
listen. I was listening, I don't know why, but it was on AM last night, and something really frosted me when I was listening to Tom Likas, and it said...
How could you be frosted by anything Tom Likas says? That guy sucks.
Yeah, I know. No, it wasn't what he said. It was what the advertisement was. Before he comes back on the air, it says, the Tom Likas Show, the show with the big brass ones. And I was like,
he's a Howard Stern imitator. One time I turned that guy on. He had a shot on CNBC. He failed on CNBC. No one has that distinction that I know of besides Tom Likas.
He got a whole show?
They gave him a show and then it was off the air. He's so lame and he's so obvious a Howard Stern wannabe that he was wearing like the glasses that I wear, and he had his hair long and he had like the motorcycle jacket thing that I was doing at the time.
Man.
No, and he was like, I don't know. I don't want to talk. Why am I talking about him? So, I mean, why would I even give him that opportunity? For God's sake. What am I going to do? Am I going to sit there and point out the obvious Howard Stern wannabes? Do I have to do that?
This guy would like it, apparently.
Maybe I do need to do it. Hey, lower your radio. This guy doesn't understand.
I'm totally. I got it off.
All right. What can I do for you in line?
Well, I didn't mean to.
I didn't hear it. I couldn't even understand what he was saying.
I hope nobody else did either.
Well, now they didn't. I bleeped it off. But I didn't hear him say the F word.
Yeah, I heard it.
Who would even know what he said?
That's the only word I could understand.
It was like, F word. F word. Who would even hear it?
And the funniest thing was he was asking himself a question.
What was he saying?
Why the F does everybody always say that? Because he got on the phone, he said, Howard, what's up? Why the F does everybody ask you that?
And he's asking me that. That's his question. Los Angeles, you're on the air.
Hello, Howard.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you saw the article in the Playboy this month.
In the Playboy? No, I haven't seen it.
What article?
I didn't see an article.
Yeah.
Who reads you're the dude who reads the articles in Playboy.
Yeah, there's a little section in the movie area about some movie that you've done.
I don't know what you're talking about, you nitwit. I tell you, I'm
What's wrong with people?
Fred, why don't you play the Twilight Zone music? What are you doing?
I was busy with something else. I'm sorry.
I am doing a movie. Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, I'm working on a script. I don't have the movie yet. You're on the air.
Howard.
I'm not even working on the script. Someone else is
I
working on
thought
the
you
script.
said there was going to be exciting news.
There is, but not today. I can't give
When
that out.
will we have some? You said there's lots of news. When are you going to give us some?
Maybe in a week or so. You know how long stuff takes.
It's just that I'm sitting here. Don't tell me there's going to be news. You know how curious I am.
Well, I'm just trying to keep you interested. You're on the air.
Howard.
I'm trying to tell you that the movie thing is very much alive. It's just that I can't announce what's going on with it. You're on the air.
Does Fred Norris's Earthbound News still exist?
I can't understand a word you just said.
Speaking to a cop.
Does Fred Norris's Earthbound
I don't. Well, let me ask you something, pal, because you're doing something strange.
What am I doing?
Where is the phone?
It's right in my mouth.
In his tuchus. What are you doing? Are you talking into a strange phone?
No.
Well, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but it's impossible to understand you.
Can you hear me now?
Come on.
So far, we've spent the morning trying to establish communication with somebody. We've been unsuccessful so far.
You'd think we were on another planet trying to reach Earth.
There are some people who even technically don't have the ability to reach us. You're on the air in Orlando.
Good morning, Howard.
Yeah, I forgot we were on in Orlando. It's good to remind myself of that.
Well, we don't forget. Hey, I'm the guy that called. I had the daughter got the AA+.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
This is really kind of funny. I called, I talked to the teacher, her English. I'm not going to say no names or anything.
I'll explain what you're talking about. This is a guy whose daughter wrote a book report on me and got a AA+, which I was astounded. I said, I never heard of AA+.
Well, it was 2 grades, I think.
Yeah.
The oral and the written or something like that.
He sent me the first paragraph of the report, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah?
Is that you?
Well, I sent the whole report.
Yes, here it is. What grade is this again?
She's in the 6th grade.
All right. Yeah. Howard Stern was shy in school. None of the girls liked him. He was known as a nerd. Howard Stern did graduate from high school and college. Everybody thought Howard would go nowhere. Knowwhere. But today he is king of media. That shows if you work hard and try, you will go somewhere. Not in my case. All right, Jackie, take it easy.
Oh.
There is the report. That's the crux of the report.
I thought he wrote this.
He helped her with it.
And it's Knowwhere?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Well, who said he was smart?
No. I just rewrote it the way she wrote it.
Right.
I did not do the report. I just gave her information. I let her take off. But this is even funnier. I talked to Gary about this. I was going to try to set up like a debate with the teacher, her English teacher here. Maybe debate the teacher.
Hi, you're on the air. I don't know how this guy writes me every week. I don't know how much more I can take of his daughter and the report. I don't know how much more I need to hear about it. All right, she got a AA+.
It was a toe hold, Howard.
Yeah,
he was in there for a second.
Now he's creating bits. He's calling teachers. I mean, look at this guy. What, does he want to get his daughter thrown out of school? Doesn't he want to be taken seriously by his kids? Listen to this. He's setting up a debate between his daughter's teacher and the teacher who gave that other kid an F- for writing a report on me.
The problem is that kid was in high school, and his level of writing was the same as that little kid.
Right. You're on the air in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Howard, I want to ask you, I think you should have your own 800 or 976 number like AC has. What do you think?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to call that AC number.
I was hoping that we would because
first of all,
we can leave messages.
Oh, good. The reason I want to call that number is so that none of you will call it. You can hear it, and you'll see what a ripoff it is. I saw this guy on TV last night, this AC Cowlings. I wish they'd throw him in jail just for being annoying.
Just for being O.J.'s friend.
I'm watching him. He goes, he can barely speak English. You had to see him mangling the English language.
Oh, I'll have tape of it later.
Good.
He goes, call it now?
Yeah, I'll call it in a minute. He goes, you want me to call it now?
Yeah, let's call now.
You want to call now?
Yeah.
Because he says, I love Nicole. I loved O.J. I love them both. But how could anyone say O.J. is guilty?
I completely believe.
My friend, he loved Nicole so much. I love Nicole too. Then I'm saying, well, if you love Nicole so much and you can't believe O.J. did it, why don't you take a look at the pictures when he used to beat her face to a pulp?
Yeah.
Where were you?
What was that all
If you're
about?
such a good friend, why didn't you step in and stop him?
You loved her.
Yeah.
Why did you let him hit her?
She was a good person, but so is O.J. He loved her so much. He would die for her. Well, he would die for her.
That's why I whooped her.
Yeah, he died for her, all right. I don't know. I think Dennis Miller said, isn't it ironic that the one guy who was willing to die for Nicole had to go kill her because he could have stopped the killing?
It was awful because that's the one guy.
That Dennis Miller show on HBO, though, is pretty good. Did you ever watch it?
I have only seen one episode.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's got some funny stuff on there. Yeah, it's pretty funny jokes. Well, he's real funny.
Well, I guess I missed that good.
Yeah.
I got the one bad one.
Oh, really? I thought it was pretty funny.
I saw him with Robin Williams. Maybe it was Robin Williams that threw me off.
Yeah. The interview part isn't the strongest part, but it's the, him talking about stuff is pretty good. It's pretty relaxed and kind of cool. Yeah, okay, I'll call the AC number.
We can call that now?
Yeah. All right, dude.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, okay, I got to hang up on you.
Yeah,
Why?
you can't. Because we have to use the phone to call AC.
Oh, come on, Howard. I'm calling all the way from L.A.
So what are you saying? I got to stay on the phone with you when I call AC?
Well, I want to hear it, too.
Yeah, but you're going to hear it on the radio.
I want to hear it on the phone. I want to add my commentary.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, I tell you what, let me take a break, and then I'll
We'll
call.
try to set this all up.
Yeah, I'll try and patch you into it, okay?
All
right. Hold on.
Thanks.
Okay, the guy has commentary. Okay, at least he explained himself.
I have commentary.
Yeah. If he has commentary, then let's hear it. We'll take a break right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Yeah. I wrote this song last night. I thought I'd play it on the air for you. I was jamming with my friends, and we recorded a little bit. I'm getting good on guitar.
Together with a bunch of guys to play?
Yeah. We get together and just record stuff in my house. Who is that, Fred?
That's Leslie.
Boy, he's good. Leslie West. Is that from his newer stuff?
As a matter of fact, that's a song I wrote some lyrics on.
Oh, is that the one?
He said I could use it for a bumper.
Oh, did he?
If we ever put it on the air.
Sneaking it in, huh, friend?
I wish I could play like Leslie.
Yeah, that would be cool.
The legendary Leslie West.
You wouldn't have to sit here and get up at this time of the morning if you could do that.
By the way, I can't call the AC Cowlings line right now. I've got to wait because I can't do it now because Jimi Hendrix is here. Let me just tell this guy.
Wait a minute.
Hey, dude, I'll get in touch with you later. Just stay tuned because I got to do this Jimi Hendrix thing because the guy's got to leave. All right? Thank you.
Hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
Jimi Hendrix is here.
Jimi Hendrix is here.
What do you mean?
Well, let me explain.
Jimmy, as far as I know, Jimmy's dead.
Well, this guy came up. I'm not sure exactly how we found this guy, but Gary found him. Some guy was hanging around the station, or his girlfriend was hanging around the station.
I think his girlfriend came up here for something. I can't remember.
Was that it?
What. Yeah.
And she goes, I'm dating this guy, and he swears he's Jimi Hendrix reincarnated. So I didn't care, like people say stupid stuff. But Gary somehow was rapping to her, and she really believes he's Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, she caught me in the hall, and she said, he is Jimi Hendrix. It wasn't like he thinks he's Jimi Hendrix. He is Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah, we had you. Who is she again?
I forget what she was up here for.
How did I meet you?
Hi, guys.
Oh, yeah, you were here for the Super Bowl party. You massaged us.
Yeah, but I didn't get to you, Howard.
Yeah, well, that's because you're nutty.
Thanks.
You think your boyfriend's Jimi Hendrix?
No, I don't only think it.
You know it.
You know it.
Everybody knows it. And now, you have to know it.
Who is everybody?
One. Howard's the one.
Hey, dude.
Great to be here.
Your girlfriend really believes you're the reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix. How old are you?
29.
So, in other words, Jimmy died
How many
what
years
year?
ago did Jimmy die?
25.
25?
And you were already born?
Oh, yeah.
So, how did Jimmy get into you?
Oh, well, because, you see, when everybody's born like an angel.
Same way you got into everyone else.
That's right.
When he died, he entered your spirit.
Yeah, see, people think, like, if you die and someone else dies, and you could be born at the same time, but it doesn't have to be, because when you're born an angel, and spirits can get...
So you have the knowledge Jimmy had, right?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Now, did you play guitar before, or did you just all of a
Before
sudden...
I was born?
No. Before Jimi Hendrix got into you.
But it was only at 4 when Jimi Hendrix got into it.
I didn't start playing guitar until I was 16 when I first discovered who Hendrix was,
Mm-hmm.
But I had many flashbacks when I was a child, from like 4 years old and 5 years old.
And how do you realize that Jimi Hendrix is in your body? Be honest.
No, so this is a very long story. There's a lot to do with it. Okay.
Tell me. I got nothing but time.
Nothing but time. That's what I got too. So we're here to hash this.
All right. So quickly, go ahead.
Oh, Jackie, I love your fingers. So okay, when I was very young, I had like these trips when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Things like, imagine yourself in a dream state. You're here somewhere and you imagine yourself in a dream state and you don't feel like you're there, but it's not a good dream. It's like a nightmare kind of thing. And I swear to God, I went for like every medical test under the book, and it was like nothing was wrong with me. It was like,
all right, so you kept having a dream-like state,
and your family took you
being
to the
awake,
doctor.
being awake.
I mean, it was so weird that you were getting so weird that your parents had to take you to a doctor.
Absolutely, yes, every test imaginable.
And how does one test to see if they have the spirit of Jimi Hendrix? You went to your mother and father and you said, "Look, I'm really convinced Jimi Hendrix."
No, see, that was even before I even knew about it. But these things were happening.
What did you say to your parents? Pretend I'm your parents.
I said, I feel like I'm not here. It's like I just feel like I'm in a dream state, but I'm awake.
Right.
It's not a good feeling.
I see. And you were in the dream state, but not awake. And have you been in the dream state and not awake ever since?
No. That was like when I was growing up, and it would periodically happen, but it wasn't like a permanent thing. It was like
now, what would happen to you in these dream states?
It's just it's a very strange feeling. I swear to God, if I had done acid, I would imagine that's what it would feel like.
I see.
You having Jimmy's acid flashback.
Yes, that's what it was.
Now, who was your manager during the experience days?
Chaz Chandler.
Chas Chandler? That's correct. That's very
Yeah,
good.
but he's going to know all this. He's studied Jimmy.
All right, don't worry. I'll trick him up. I know more about Jimmy than he does.
No.
He's already worked that out, that he doesn't know those answers. Jimmy just lives inside him, but didn't give him that information.
But I have to ask you a question. Okay.
Who was Jimi Hendrix's white girlfriend?
The one who was died?
Yeah.
Monica Danneman?
That's right.
Well,
okay, very good.
Let me ask you a question.
Which Beatle introduced you to America?
Which Beatle?
Yeah. Do you remember him?
Beatle introduced Jimmy to... no, it wasn't a Beatle. The Monterey Pop Festival?
It was one of the Beatles actually introduced Jimmy.
Tricked him already.
Right.
During the Monterey Pop Festival, when he first played his first concert.
Yeah, when he was first brought on the national scene, one of the Beatles sort of like took him under his wing.
No, that was Brian Jones from the Stones.
Wasn't it McCartney?
It was McCartney.
Yeah, he did stuff, but what Brian Jones introduced him.
All right. Maybe that's a vague question.
All right. We'll try and get more specific.
Technicality here.
Can we ask Julius Caesar a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what did Julius have on his 12th birthday for lunch?
When was Hendrix buried?
1970.
1970, right? That's correct. When did Hendrix die?
September 18th.
That's right.
Come on, but anybody knows these things.
That's what I'm saying.
Where is Electric Ladyland?
Right down the street somewhere, I guess, right? In the heart of town.
You don't know where it is?
I've never been there.
Hendrix was there.
Hendrix built the studio.
I know.
It's not like he's had every Hendrix experience.
All right, which old Army buddy? Well, here's a good question.
Billy Cox played bass, right?
That's right, yeah, okay.
See, he knows the answers. The questions.
All right, I'll give you... If you were Hendrix, you would know this. May of 1969, Hendrix was arrested for heroin. Where?
Toronto Airport.
Pretty good.
Look, this is not the way you do this. These are subjects that everybody has access to.
Yes,
Right.
Robin.
I figured. Well, I figured if he can't get
You
these,
gotta have something that only his family would know.
All right.
Questions for now, for the 90s, you know, like Jimmy's here now, not then.
Who appeared on stage with Santana at Woodstock? Who appeared?
Jackie Martin?
No, come on. You would know this. If you're a Hendrix, you would absolutely know this. Yeah. Who appeared with Hendrix at Woodstock on stage with Santana? You would know it, Jimmy.
That's like a really roundabout question.
Well, you know, it's not. It's very direct. At Woodstock, Santana appeared, and you would know who appeared on stage with them. You would know this if you were Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, okay. Did he step in?
No, he did not step in. It was Jimmy's daughter.
Jimmy's daughter?
Jimmy's daughter was on stage with Santana.
Now, have you met your children?
He forgot that. See, I can trick him up. Just give me some time.
Your children?
Wait a minute. What planet are we talking about?
Freddie, you're at Hendrix.
Woodstock 2.
Yeah.
Woodstock 2?
Well, what's the difference?
You didn't tell him it was Woodstock 2.
Jimmy was alive.
Wait a minute. I'm going back to 1969.
Fred, you gave me these.
You want here and now questions. You want, ancient
I don't know
what questions you want, man.
No, well, wait a second. You got to do stuff when Hendrix was alive, Fred.
Okay. Don't argue with Hendrix, Fred.
Eric Barrett.
No, the guy who invented your little devices, foot switches.
Roger Mayer.
Very good.
Hey, the guy's doing pretty good.
Hey, by the
way, what kind of amps did you play in the studio?
What, the Marshalls or Sons or what?
In the studio. What do you usually play in the studio?
He's saying you as if.
Yeah, right. Well, he's trying to believe
You
it.
said you were Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to call you Jimmy, man.
I use Fenders now.
What type of Fender?
Back then.
Yeah, they're back then.
Oh, Fred.
I used the Sons for a while, but the Sons were garbage, so I got rid of those and just played Marshalls mostly,
You don't know anything about a Fender Dual Showman?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, that was
some of the questions Fred's asking if Hendrix was alive himself.
He wouldn't
He would
even
be able to answer that. That's what I love about this.
Stone, you got to read.
Yeah, but wait a minute. That wasn't like an amp that was worth.
All right, only Hendrix would know this.
Now
What
they're going to
guitar?
argue about the quality of this
This will be I know Fred will get into it and argue for hours. What guitar did Hendrix play? What guitar did Hendrix play at the Isle of Wight show in 1970? Everyone knows this.
He played two guitars, his Stratocaster and his Flying V Gibson.
That's right, Flying V Gibson.
I have that on movie. It's just the press concert. He was so upset.
Either this guy's got no life or he's Jimi Hendrix.
He has no life, I think.
No, he has a life.
By the way, happy birthday.
Thank you.
We have the same birthday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's hidden
your lives are so much alike.
There's a hidden meaning in everything.
So you got this girl duped?
I'm as miserable as you. Don't get me wrong.
So he has you duped that he's Hendrix?
No.
What are you, his girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's my PR, spiritual other half, everything,
Well, when did you hit her with this revelation that you were...
Robin, he didn't. No, he doesn't have to hit anybody with it. If you just see what he does.
He's got his guitar. He's going to play.
There's no doubt. There will be no doubt in any of your minds.
But I'm not
why haven't record companies run to him?
Because we don't go to them.
Wait a minute. Wait, there's a meaning. Everything happens in its own time. You have to agree with that. Okay, there's a meaning for everything. No.
Yes.
6 months ago, maybe it wasn't going to happen, but now, I mean, I'm here. It's for a reason. I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Okay. All right. Well, you make as much sense as Jimmy did. All right. Let me see. Okay. Let me hear you play something, Jimmy.
We have to set things up because I'm not.
No, we don't.
Going direct, so I got to use an amplifier. So if you want to take a short break, we could set things up.
Oh, is that right? You have to be set up.
I have to blow the room off.
Oh, I see. Like Hendrix, you have to blow the room apart. I see.
Well, he can't do anything else.
All right. So why not just say you're a good guitar player and leave it at that? What is that, Fred?
You might want to put that in the hall. It's going to probably be too much.
What is it? What kind of amp is it?
Oh, no. It'll be all right. It'll work.
All right. Okay. All right. Well,
she knows.
She knows because she knows Jimmy.
Yeah, but you guys are going to know.
She was Marconi in the other line.
You guys are going to know. No, I was nobody. I was afraid of Hendrix. I mean, I was...
Why, was he after you? Was he threatening to kill you?
No, I was a little kid.
I see. Now you don't feel so threatened, now that he's a white man.
Now that he's slept with you.
Yeah, now that he's sleeping with you don't feel so threatened. Now, let me ask you something. Have you told your family that you're with Jimi Hendrix now?
They don't have to be told.
They all know it too?
I've known Frank for the past 6 years, and anybody who sees what he does with this, and...
He couldn't just be a good guitar player.
No,
he couldn't. No.
There's a lot of good guitars.
And let me ask you something. Do you really believe that Jimi Hendrix and other people come back in somebody else's body? You really believe that?
He had to.
It is absolutely
a talent like that.
Weren't you told that Julius Caesar?
Julius Caesar what?
Spirit lives inside of you?
Inside of me?
Told you that.
Are you?
Oh, boy.
So if a psychic told me that, I believe it? Let me tell you about psychics. Why is it that no one ever says a garbage man for Julius Caesar came back inside of you? Why is it always Julius Caesar?
I don't know.
Oh, for God's sake. Stop. How old are you?
But see the position of power.
Stop acting like a 12-year-old.
Oh, yes, he's running the world.
He's still the ruler.
Even my daughter came home the other day. She had a Ouija board. I said, don't you know that's crap? She goes,
that's hot now. All the kids have a Ouija board.
And I said, don't you know that's crap? She goes, yeah, I know, but I'm just having some fun with it. I said, okay, as long as you know.
Right.
Oh, man.
I wondered what those Julius Caesar references
Listen to me.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Repeat after me.
No, I'm not.
Repeat. I am not Jimi Hendrix.
Okay. I'm not the black man that you know and love. But...
All right, let me take a break. Oh, listen, if I could convince a girl that I was Jimi Hendrix, I would do it.
You would?
Yes.
Really? You think I did this for a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't think of a girl.
Have you ever been in a mental institution?
No, not yet. Thank God.
Well, the day could be the day.
It could be, right? Hey, do you know why I'm here? First of all, the reason why I'm here is because, look, if this goes over and you like what you hear say, think about the idea of Jimi Hendrix being back in circulation.
Right.
Let me ask you something. Are you writing new music or do you just play your old stuff?
No.
Are we going to hear new music next or are we going to hear...
We'll just play it by ear, I guess.
Now, I'm going to cut you... I'm not going to let you play and jam on like Jimmy did. I'll let you do a couple of notes and then I'll...
What do you call them? No.
Dude.
Not too established.
It's okay. Whatever you want. You're
that's right.
You know, if you're that good, he might want to hear more.
But look,
that's right.
Let me just say one thing.
I wouldn't. If Hendrix was alive today, I'd only let him play a few notes. I like to hear the sound of my voice. What is it?
Leslie West just called. He's going to listen to Jimmy play. Because he hung with Jimmy, he's going to rate the
All right, well, that's fair enough.
That's good.
The legendary Leslie West.
Excellent.
Tell Leslie I love what he's doing.
All right.
So if you like what you hear...
I will take a break. You set up that amplifier, and then I will hear...
Do you remember hanging out with Leslie West?
You don't forget that. I don't care who you were. As a matter of fact, when Hendrix jammed with Leslie West, what instrument did Jimmy play?
I should have did heroin before I came. What?
When you were jamming with Leslie West, Jimmy and Leslie used to jam all the time.
They did too.
What did Jimmy play? Not the kind of guitar. What?
The flute.
No, he did not play the flute.
He didn't play the flute?
No, you don't know because you're not Jimi Hendrix.
What did he play?
He played the bass. Jimmy would play bass while Leslie played the
I even knew that.
Of course you know.
Maybe I'm Jimi Hendrix.
He even played the bass with the strings upside down, too.
No, now you got information. All right. We're going to take a break.
Can you do that?
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Can he do that?
I can do whatever.
Would you light your guitar on fire and put it behind your head?
No, I can't afford to do that.
All right.
I only have one guitar.
Let me take a break and then we'll set you up. Excuse me. I have to take a break. You keep excusing me and excusing me.
Yeah, you got to go set up.
You keep interrupting me. I can't.
I'm a Capricorn, too.
We'll be back right after these words with Jimi Hendrix.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
All right.
Now, who was that? Ask him.
You know who that is, right? doing this. What?
Is that Fred?
No. The legendary Leslie West. Jimmy would have known that.
Just as good.
All right. We have a man in the studio, in case you're just joining us here on the Howard Stern program. We have a guy who claims to be the reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix. We've asked him a series of questions. He got most of them right. Some of them he got wrong. Here, a listener faxed me and said Hendrix's name of birth was not James Marshall. What was his real name?
John Allen.
John Allen Hendrix.
Whoa.
This guy says, I guarantee he won't know that.
Jeez, we've got to read you can read a book, you know?
And here's another, here's a fax. This idiot should choke on his own vomit. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, not everyone believes.
Hey, I could vomit right now, no pun intended.
Listen, no, not everyone's as gullible as your girlfriend.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Seeing is believing.
You don't think you're vulnerable? I mean, you don't think you're...
What does he do for a living? I mean,
You don't think that you're a little bit... You don't think you're a little easy? You know what it is? Listen,
Oh, no, Howard.
you desperately want a boyfriend who's Jimi Hendrix.
he's a good-looking guy. You're counting your lucky stars.
Hey, wait a minute. Robin said I was good looking.
Yeah, you're a nice-looking guy.
I can leave now. I'm happy, all right?
You're a good-looking guy, but you're cuckoo. That's all.
Hey, but Howard, look, if I can be successful at this...
Yes. What's the difference who you are?
It's yours. No,
Right.
it's yours.
It's mine?
You give him all the money?
No, that's why I'm here, because instead of going somewhere else, I don't trust
Who else wanted you?
everybody.
Nobody.
Ricky
all right.
Lake called us.
Ricky Lake called you the
No,
other day?
I'm kidding.
No, of course not.
No, she did call, but...
All right. Well, anyway, we have you here, Jimi Hendrix, and, of course, your...
Lovely girlfriend.
who is 5 times wackier than a normal groupie. All right, here we go. And you're a little too old to be a groupie at this point.
Thank you, Howard.
You are.
It's true. I'm not a groupie.
Oh, no, huh?
No.
No. You're going around, running around like a teenager saying this guy's Jimi Hendrix.
Thank goodness it was Jimi Hendrix who
Yeah, but
found
I've
you and
lived
not
many
David
lives.
Koresh.
He lays down at night and laughs at you. You realize that?
I've lived many lives before, so have you, you know.
Oh, really? Who else were you?
No, Capricorn.
All Capricorns have lived many
yes,
lives?
it's the oldest sign. Yes, we've lived many lives.
Who else were you? Do you know?
That I don't know.
Really? Only
we
Jimmy?
can ask the April, but I don't know.
All right.
That I don't.
All right, now let's. I've offered you the opportunity to play. Leslie is sitting by and listening. Leslie West. He'll know if it's Jimmy.
Now, you're not nervous about this test, are you?
What's that song I like that Jimmy used to play?
Voodoo Child.
Yeah, let me hear just a little of that. Give me a little of that.
Just a little bit
Give me a
of
little
that?
bit.
Just a little bit. Can I take these off now?
What, the headphones?
Yeah.
Why don't you want to wear headphones?
Because I'm going to rip this right out of here.
Oh, I see. Go ahead. All right. Take off the
I'm a
headphones.
maniac when I play it.
All right, just like Jimmy. Oh, look at her. She's nodding like, see? It sounds like Hendrix. Where's my up? There's Fred and Jackie have lit lighters. All right, now hold on a second. You can't stop him. He's like Hendrix. Now, Fred, what about that? Is that good?
What key was that?
I was going to say, Fred, Jimmy went deaf.
What key was that?
Anything. Now, wait a second. Was that bad?
He
wasn't even phrasing it properly.
He wasn't?
He was all, I can even tell it was off.
You need the headphones on. That's what you did.
I'll rip them right out.
You'll rip them right out.
Oh, he doesn't have enough cord?
So you're saying the guy was not Hendrix?
He was playing okay guitar. I mean, it was good tone and everything, but it is not Hendrix's phrasing.
Let me hear you do it.
I'm not Hendrix.
Let me see you do it. Give Fred the guitar. Let me see if Fred can
Well,
play.
we could even talk to Leslie. What does Leslie think?
Oh, wait a second. Let me see Fred. What's the matter?
Go ahead.
Strung backwards. I can't play.
Oh, it's strung backwards.
backwards.
We'll go get another guitar.
Is that what Hendrix did, string his guitars backwards?
Yes. Did Hendrix string his guitars back?
Shot down in flames, yeah.
Well, wait a second. What is it?
Leslie's on the phone.
Well, I thought you sounded good.
But Howard can't hear either.
Yeah, I mean, what do I know? I can't play any instrument. I'm impressed.
I do.
Well, was the guy bad?
No.
Yeah, he played good, right?
He played very good. But I'll tell you this, there's 100 guys that get that tone by using all his effects. The only thing is the kid played the wrong chords.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those aren't the chords when it goes to release I'm a voodoo child. But kid plays good. Why doesn't he write his own music?
He does.
Oh, he does?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
He plays good.
He certainly does. He certainly doesn't need to imitate one of the greatest guitarists in the world.
He's not that guy, is he?
No.
No.
No, I happen to know Jimmy's dead.
Leslie got it on good information.
You know?
Hey,
But he certainly can play, man.
I told the story about your foot on the air today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Cutting off my toe?
Yeah, about how you cut your toe off.
Am I a schmuck?
Which toe was it, Leslie?
It's my other. I'm bathing the other one that was injured, and then I said, let me cut off the toenail on my little pinky. And Michelle says, you're not supposed to cut yourself. You're supposed to go to the podiatrist. And I was so thrilled that I had this clipper that the doctor used.
No wonder Jimmy killed himself.
Right, exactly.
He didn't want to end up like Leslie, diabetic.
Listen, if he slows his vibrato down and learns to play, he doesn't have to use Jimmy's tone for crying out loud. We all know that tone.
Well, he was playing the song. He's saying it comes out of him.
It doesn't matter what guitar he has, that comes out.
But I know a lot of guys that want to imitate people that are already there, and they don't want to play their own stuff.
Well, he says he plays his own stuff. All right,
no,
Leslie.
he plays new Jimmy stuff.
No, let me hear what else he's got. Hold on.
Good.
I think I have a quick question.
Yeah.
If that's the tone that just comes out, why are there 7 pedals on the floor?
Wait a second. I have a question. How come he asked Fred to get a guitar and it takes him 9 hours to get one?
Because he's going back to his other life to get one.
Right. Well, here's Fred. Fred, let me hear you play that. I wanted to see how difficult it is.
Okay.
Play the same exact thing.
Plug in?
Yeah. Plug in. Fred already sounds like it.
One was on?
Yeah. All right, here goes Fred. Sounds pretty good, too.
I'll tell you, Jim must have been one hell of a player because Fred can really play. You can't play that.
Oh, he played pretty good. All right, let me hear something that you do now. Let me hear something original. How did Fred do, Leslie?
Hey, listen, Fred could play anything. He's my favorite.
Oh, all right. Hold on. All right, let's give Jimi Hendrix, since he's all plugged in, give him a chance to just play something.
Hey, you want to hear Star Spangled Banner?
All right. Whatever you want to play. What do you want to play? Something of your own?
Don't you want to play something of your own?
Sure, why not?
All right, let me hear what you're working on there, Jimmy. Jimi Hendrix, everybody, back in with some new tunes. And Jimmy, what name do you go by now?
I don't know. Jimi Hendrix Late Return, right?
I mean, what's your name?
Frank Angelosi.
Oh, Frank Angelosi.
No, C-A-N-G-E-L. Angelosi. It's Italian.
Frank Angelosi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Italian? I had no idea. All right, thank you.
You're bashing those Italians yesterday?
No, come on. New song from Jimi Hendrix. Look at the girlfriend. She's like swooning. Like a robin.
I'm swooning too.
Hey, Leslie.
I have one request. Has he been to the plastic casters yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. You know about that, right?
I want to know how long it was.
Hey, does he have a big penis like Jimmy did?
I can't say. My mother's listening.
What, your mother?
She doesn't know you're having sex with him?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
You sure do sound like you are. Your music?
Is the delusion intact?
Listen, the guy thinks he's Jimi Hendrix. His girlfriend thinks he's Jimi Hendrix. God bless him. Let him think. What's the difference? Who's he hurting?
Nobody.
As long as you don't think you're O.J. Simpson, we're all right.
Different black guy.
So you're still convinced he's Jimi Hendrix, huh?
Yeah.
You want to hear a Star Spangled Banner?
I think she's a little shaken.
Yeah. I think her faith is a little shaken.
She's a little shaken.
She's a little shaken.
Yeah.
You can't hear the vocals good at all.
Oh.
Because we're in here.
All right.
Hey, all we wanted to hear was the guitar anyway.
Okay. Can you do the Star Spangled Banner?
All right, play us out with the Star Spangled Banner. Go ahead. This will prove it. We'll be back right after these words.
The Howard Stern Show. The Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Okay, thank you. Very sexy music.
We're going to skip that segment we were talking about during the break.
Okay, good. That's fine with me. A lot of people writing in about the Jimi Hendrix guy. Says, give this to Jimmy, you suck.
Oh, man.
He walked out of here a little dejected. I said to him, look, man, anytime you come in here and say you're Jimi Hendrix, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
I said, you didn't play so bad. Just, you got to go do your own thing.
You just didn't play like Jimmy. I felt worse for the girlfriend because she's running around having this fantasy that everybody who hears him now immediately converts and thinks he's Jimi Hendrix, and she saw several people not convert for the first time.
And she got a little shook. She was pretty convinced that she'd bring him in here and we'd be like all over him.
Oh, yeah.
Like worshiping him and stuff. But she just thinks that you and me, we're not open-minded. Because she gave Gary this whole rap out in the hall about, she brought him some spiritual book.
Uh-huh.
Because you heard her say that I was Julius Caesar.
Right, yeah.
But,
by one of the bad psychics who calls in here.
Yeah.
She believed that.
What book did she give you?
A manual for living comfortably in the cosmos.
Yeah, so what does it say?
I don't know.
What did she tell you when she gave it to you?
Well, it was in a note. She just said that I have a lot to give and that I glow with spirituality.
Who does?
I do.
You?
Mm-hmm.
That's the glow from your teeth.
That's Krypton.
And even though I don't willingly admit it, I'm powerfully centered.
Are you?
And it's very easy for people.
You're powerfully centered?
And it's easy for people who are on a higher level to spot that.
No wonder she's so duped. She thinks you're on a higher level, and then her boyfriend's Jimi Hendrix.
Herself for being on a higher level, so she's the only one who could recognize Gary's brilliance.
That's the cool thing about people who believe in psychic stuff. They immediately place themselves on a high level because they're into it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember she came for the Super Bowl party, and she said she thought I was really, really cute. I was all full of myself, and I got this book.
Yeah.
That's what made sense.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
She thinks a fire hydrant is cute. All right, very good. I'm looking at this sports. I'll spend about 2 seconds on this because then I got to play the Jim Jensen tape. But Sports Illustrated did a swimsuit issue like they do every year.
Yes.
And first of all, the first comment I have to make here is that, these are beautiful women, and it does drive me crazy that this Ashley Richardson.
But there's only one picture of her.
Yeah, well, there's almost one picture just of everybody. It's not a big spread, but
No, that's not true. There are a lot of people who get more attention than she does.
You know there's a part 2 to that, Howard.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, go to the back.
Oh, I
there's
didn't
this girl,
realize.
Stacy. That's just her name. Everyone has one name now.
Yeah.
You know, there's like Stacy and some other woman. They all have one name, but Stacy's really cute.
Oh, is she? Well, all I know is that, this is the one that they said in the paper today Sandra Bernhard was dating.
Who?
She gets better girls than you.
And she sure does.
Who is she dating?
Well, I don't get any girls. I don't know. I got to read the article again. I don't want to slander anybody, without reading it. But anyway, this Ashley Richardson, this one, I don't care if there's there's one picture of her, but she digs me. She would actually go out with me, I think, based on the interview we have from her.
Well, she just had a baby.
Oh, you mean she's got a boyfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She digs you.
Her.
I'm sorry I had to say that.
Man. I'm glad you did that. I was driving myself nuts. I wish you would have told me that right up front. Looks like she just had a baby. Look at the big loincloth.
Now you're going to tear her apart.
Yeah, she's shot in a loincloth. Look, they're covering her thighs.
Well, I noticed the hands over the stomach, too.
Yeah.
And last year, when they had all those pregnant women on the cover of the Sports Illustrated issue, all of them were covering their stomachs.
Yeah, but she's got a tattoo on her ankle that's really sexy. One of those little chains.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Open for business.
Yeah,
like
open for business.
Neon light.
Oh, I didn't realize she was married. No. Good, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. That really drives me crazy when I see an interview with a girl who's a professional Sports Illustrated swimsuit model saying, I think Howard Stern is really great. That to me equals, let's go to bed. In my mind, a girl says something nice about you, that means she's willing to sleep with you.
It never means she just wants to get to know you.
Right. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This one's really good looking. Manin von Gherkin. She's got 3 names.
Manin
Look at her.
von Gherkin. Yes, either 3 or 1 today.
Fred, who is she? You're an expert on supermodels.
She's not a supermodel, but boy, does she have potential.
Oh,
that was that girl yesterday
moment.
that you guys couldn't figure out who it was.
Could she become a supermodel?
Oh, very easily.
Really?
Just to make the right steps. They put her on the cover. She would have been a shoo-in.
Who's this on the cover?
Oh, the cover's awesome.
Oh, she's from Czechoslovakia. Daniela Pestrova.
Boy, he knows. This is embarrassing how he knows supermodels.
Names the average person couldn't pronounce if they were reading.
He's like those guys who know all the girls who've ever appeared in Playboy.
There you go.
And Fred, what's your story, dude? Seriously, no joking around for the air. I mean, how is it you know every one of these girls' names?
I'm like Forrest Gump when it comes to models, man.
No, you're like Forrest Gump.
Period.
End of sentence.
Okay.
But anyway, they stuck in, I guess, as a mercy hump. They stuck in as a mercy hump this
Cheryl
Teagues, who's she's looking old.
How old is she?
She's 45.
She's 45.
I think she was 50.
Just had a baby.
For 45, she looks pretty good.
See?
She's awful cute.
She's real cute, but I mean, do I want to see this?
No.
In one piece and
a 20-year-old.
The chest is looking a little.
There's another picture of her. Is that the one? There's another picture of her that's better. I don't know that picture.
Not that one. That was not so good.
And she's all right, but she's got a big giant thing covering her stomach.
No, I know exactly. There should be a little page in front of it that says "brace yourself."
Yeah, right.
It's in the middle of all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are so cruel. Look at you.
I guess they threw her a bone.
Yeah, she kind of started it off.
Yeah, she was their cover girl for years. They owe her. Yeah, right. You never had a day as good as hers.
Yeah, well, I don't make my living being a model.
As good as her worst day.
As bad as I look, I can still make a living.
She never had a great 4-hour radio show.
That's right. And never will.
She didn't have to.
Kathy Ireland looks pretty good in this ad. She was supposed to be in the swimsuit issue. They removed, that old witch that's on the HBO specials?
Yeah, that
that
I
old
don't want
crow.
to say that hag.
That hag. There's a woman who works for Sports Illustrated. She's on all those swimsuit specials, and she she picks out the bikinis for the girls and poses the girls, and she walks around like it's some kind of science.
Yes, she's made this issue because she knows exactly what to do and who to pick.
She has spent all year preparing for this shoot.
She's turned one issue into a job. A job for she's done it for 12 years now.
Yeah, great.
Travels the world.
Yeah, tough job. But they didn't put. She pulled all the pictures of Kathy Ireland because Kathy Ireland appears in an ad, a magazine ad, in the same
Oh, that's
issue.
not possible. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
There's a rule.
She's making up the rules. That old bag. Pendula, try to bounce up more. That's it, like this. Shut up. Whack you in the head.
Move, darling, move.
So you got to hear this. You got a whole bunch of cool stuff to play. Let me get to everything. We'll run out of time. So, okay.
Whoa, what was that?
I don't know.
Guitar.
Anyway.
Hendrix's ghost is in the studio.
Jim Jensen is this. I started this yesterday. I didn't get to it, but Jim Jensen is this local anchor man here, and he's been in the New York area for like 100 years. And he's sort of like the local Walter Cronkite in that he had a whole bunch of credibility. And
was he one of those guys you watched as a child?
Yeah, and like he was always considered. In fact, they used to always rumor him to be Walter Cronkite's replacement when Walter Cronkite retired. But he was so valuable to the local station that they wouldn't even consider it.
They wouldn't let him go.
Right. So when I got fired from NBC in 1980 or something.
85.
Something like that, I said.
80 and 85.
I don't know years. I just know it happened a long time ago. When I got fired from NBC in 1985, I went over there and met him, and the guy was like all over me. Love my ass. He's like, I wish I could say the things that you say. I got to read the news. I'd like to comment on it. I think you're brilliant. I think you're great. I think you're the... And I was like, hey, man, thanks, you know. Not that I cared either. I mean, it was kind of cool that this guy dug me, but at the same point, yeah, I mean, no big deal. I mean, I don't really get worked up over anchor people. I mean, they read off a teleprompter for a living. You know, I mean, it's not like the guy's a great thinker.
Yeah, in fact, you quite frankly were insulted that he thought he could be you.
Yeah, I mean, it was an insult. Well, so what am I supposed to do? You're telling me someone's going to write something down for you and you're going to be witty? So anyway, after I met him, about 2 or 3 years later, Jim Jensen went into a real big slide. He was in rehab. And, he just had a whole bunch of chemical dependency problems.
Yeah.
And like all his credibility went out the window, and they brought him back to the station, but it never was the same. And
it was like he was limping.
Yeah. So then they didn't know what. I guess they didn't know what to do with him. We gave him a Sunday morning public affairs show where he could actually express opinions and stuff. And he sounds. Look. He's not a guy who expresses opinions.
He doesn't even sound like he's listening to what's being said.
Yeah. So they do a round table, and out of nowhere, you're going to hear a guy, it's a black guy, talking on the pub. You know, it's like one of those round table things.
Right.
And he's talking about something real serious, the black guy, and he's making some points. And you can see it's a real serious. And all of a sudden, Jim Jensen just goes, I got to talk about Howard Stern. and he starts bad-mouthing me.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
And why is the guy such a phony now? I mean, like, you know, like, hey, dude, you thought I was so great. You mean because I made jokes about you being in rehab?
It's always the case.
Yeah. No one can take you know, you're brilliant until you make fun of me. So here's Jim Jensen having a little fit. But Jerry Nacklin, like, puts him in his place because Jerry's the guy who...
on the round table?
Well, yeah, Jerry is the round table. Jerry's this big, heavy guy who brought us to New York.
Yes.
So Jerry's, like, big fans of ours. Jerry really digs what we do, so...
Right.
You know,
always believed in it.
So when Jim is sitting there telling his new boss, Jerry, that, you know, he hates Howard Stern, I know what Jerry's thinking. Jerry's going, boy, Jim's really out of touch with what people think. And I understand they're taking Jim off this show now.
I think this is probably what did it.
They probably did it, because Jerry's like, well, dude, get in touch.
Yeah.
Howard reaches a lot of people because he says a lot of stuff people think are cool.
The weird thing about the tape is it starts off with another guy on the panel, and he's talking about a completely different subject. I think he's talking
I think I went through
Howard
that.
Just did that.
I went through it. Okay, here we go.
And he was going to spin them out of existence.
This is the black guy.
And almost spent this country out of existence. So I think that what is wrong with it is not simply that
they're having a serious discussion about, you know, about
spending.
Yeah. I mean, this comes out of nowhere.
Get control, but that it is a con job finally fiscally because
the risk of being petty. I'm going to bring something up that bothers me.
That's
an
good.
aluminum plaque on Highway 295 honoring Howard Stern. It shows him peeking out of an outhouse because he supported Whitman for governor, and this is her way of rewarding him. That makes me angry.
This is populist government at its best.
That's true.
He's a foul-mouthed jerk.
Well, he had a better seat on the stand up there in New York than did
he also probably did as much to elect Pataki those last few mornings, and Whitman. And you know what, Jim? I hate to say this. I'd love to have his numbers right now.
I know what you're saying, but I still don't like it.
Yeah, so, you know, so Jim, did a backpedal.
Because he wanted to really take off on you.
He wanted somebody to blast away at me. And, of course, these other guys around the table are kind of serious guys, and they're like, don't waste our time with frivolous nonsense. We're not going to get in a tirade because the guy gets an aluminum plaque. But Jim, Jim wanted, I've got to say something. Did you hear that voice?
At the risk of being petty, I've got to say something.
Yeah, the guy's in the middle of a whole fiscal discussion, and Jim Jensen's going to open his mouth about something totally unrelated.
You know, he didn't hear a word anybody... This is exactly what I'm talking about. He didn't hear a word anybody said.
No.
All morning long, he was waiting to get that in.
Yeah, it was fire, bad, Howard Stern. And this is a guy who kissed my ass and told me how much he loved me.
Yeah.
I love you.
But we did make fun of Jim because when Jim had his drinking problem, we
wrote a whole thing about Jim Jensen.
Where is Jim's bit? Let's play it. Let me reward Jim with playing that again. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm going to play this bit. And a lot of people are new to the show and haven't heard this. And it's funny, you don't have to know who Jim is to enjoy it.
Right. You've known somebody who's fallen from heights having had to go to rehab.
I think in every town there's a television news guy who has fallen out of grace. Because there was a guy in Washington, some black guy, who was real credible. They were talking about how he was the #1 guy and stuff. And then I think he got into some coke problem or something.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Had to be sent away for a while.
I think it happens in every town. But our guy was Jim Jensen.
For 25 years, Jim Jensen told you the news.
Hi. Hey, Bree, are those your hands or are those claws? They look like claws. The last time I saw anything like those, it was on a crab.
Jim, are you okay?
That's when they got really nuts.
Yeah.
Jim Jensen, he worked with this lady, Bree, who has no hands. She's the anchor. She's a real piece of ass, but she has no hands. So Jim goes, he starts talking to her about her hands. You think your parents would have aborted you if they knew you didn't have any hands? And she was like, what? I'm doing the news, you dick.
Fucking ain't right.
For 25 years, Jim Jensen was paid exorbitant amounts of money to tell you what was happening in New York, Washington, and the world.
And for the international news, Jim Jensen. Jim, what's going on?
How the hell should I know, Connie? Excuse me?
Jim?
Who farted?
What Jim Jensen didn't tell you was what was happening to him. You could catch his act at 6 and 11 and at 2 in the morning at Toots Shores.
Hey! What's happening to me? Hey, there's ice in here. I didn't ask for ice.
The Jekyll and Hyde life. This is the story of Jim Jensen and his drug addiction.
So, Jim, your problem was serious.
It almost killed me. The white monkey. I had the white monkey on my back. The white monkey nearly crushed me.
Cocaine.
Who's talking about cocaine? I'm talking about Michelle Marsh. Oh, what a horse.
It will be like no news report you've ever seen. Just when you think Jim's hit rock bottom, he sinks 10 feet lower.
Hey, Pedro, give me some Coke. I'll mention you on TV. You can't do that. I can do anything I want. I'm TV's Jim Jensen. I'm the king of news, my man. Bro, I'm an anchor, damn it.
Tonight on Channel 2 News.
Jim, you're in denial.
Hey, that's a river in Egypt.
That's an old joke, Jim.
I'm an old anchor.
The Jim Jensen story.
Now I know how Leona feels. Pour me. Pour me. Pour me another one. But the recovery's gonna make a hell of a story.
Watch poor Jim Jensen tonight on Channel 2 with his wild nights on the town.
People of Earth! Get out of my way!
Let's all feel sorry for Jim Jensen tonight on Channel 2.
You!
That was great.
I remember this just being brutal. I used to cringe when
Well, that's because, like, they tried to put a spin on it when Jim got out of rehab and they decided to rehire him. They did all these little, like 3-part series. Jim Jensen talks about his recovery, one of the most honest, like putting a positive spin on it.
They play it on the weekend.
Yeah, and it would be like, Jim Jensen. It was like, let's all feel sorry for Jim Jensen. And it was kind of funny, but I don't know, he didn't. Suddenly we sucked because
he didn't have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, I wasn't any good anymore. Remember, Fred? Remember you were there with me?
Oh, yeah.
He was like all over me.
The exact quote was, I love you.
Yeah.
You say the things that I want to say, but I can't say them because I'm a newsman.
Yeah.
And he was that intense.
And then he got a hold of Fred.
Changing the meaning. It was great because he was afraid to approach you at first. Because, he was hanging around the green room. He's watching you and looking at you.
Yeah, he wanted to meet you.
And you went in with, I think, Michelle Marsh.
Yeah. No, Michelle Marsh wouldn't let me look at her.
That's right, but you definitely went in the studio.
Do you know that story?
Michelle Marsh wouldn't let you look at her?
No.
I was nervous.
What happened is she was in the building. She heard I was coming in. She went and hid.
Who interviewed you? Nobody from the station?
Maybe Carol Martin.
Carol Martin did, yeah.
Oh, okay. She had the nerve.
Yeah.
You know what? The rumor about Michelle, why she avoided you.
Well,
for
I know
years.
why.
And you know what? I ran into her, and I know why too.
Well, what happened was I thought she was really cute, which everyone does.
Right.
Because she's got a really.
Didn't she write you a letter once?
Yeah, she thought I was single back then.
No.
And I thought she was really cute. I used to talk about her on the air. And then someone had told me that she had later that she had a really big body. She's like a big, 6-foot girl, and she's kind of big boned. So you never see her walking around and stuff. And she didn't want me to see her body, supposedly. That's what everyone said. I don't know if that was true, but she was hiding from me. They did tell me that.
I saw her because CBS is right around the corner from where I used to live, and I used to see all the news people.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, she's a big girl.
Could have been the truth.
It's not hard to believe.
It wasn't difficult to believe. If someone said that, I wouldn't think they were lying.
Right. Well, that's what a few people told me there, that she just didn't want me looking at her.
Oh, dear.
She wanted to be evaluated by Mr. Handsome.
You go into a studio, everybody runs. Nobody wants to interview you.
And then Jim Jensen compliments me, and then we do that on the air. No wonder people can't stand me.
Yeah, see, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't do business with me, I make fun of you. You do business with me, I still make fun of you.
That's right. You're always screaming about how the press doesn't appreciate you. The guy appreciated you.
Yeah, there was a guy in the press who appreciated me.
I love you.
I love you, damn it. I want to be you.
I want to say what you say.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, but at the time when he said that, he could have been high.
Right, now you realize that he was probably on something at the time.
Now he came down, he don't like me anymore. Yeah, most people who are on medication like me. No, anyway, we got to take a break.
Poor Jim Jensen. I'm feeling sorry for him.
I remember Joe Piscopo went out on a date with Michelle Marsh because he used to watch her on TV, too, and get all excited.
Well, she wrote him a letter.
Yeah.
She was really heavily into getting married.
Yeah.
And so anytime she saw anybody who she thought was successful and attractive, she'd write them a note.
Well, he had said on our show that he thought she was kind of cute, too. So he was single at the time, so he figured to go out with her. But I know it was a one-date situation.
Well, she didn't look like Kimberly.
Yeah.
She also went out with one of the Giants as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wrote him a letter, though.
Yeah. I would have definitely hopped on board for that ride. I just keep looking at the face.
Yeah, you fantasized a bit about what it would be like, you and a TV anchor making the scene.
I think she's a real big girl and has a small chest. Does she have a big chest? I don't think so.
See, I saw her in pants, which is real tough.
Uh-oh.
They were like, I remember they were like...
Pants are not always that concealed.
They were like I still remember it vividly. They were like powder blue.
Yeah.
And they were sort of that, like double knit material.
Oy vey.
Oh, boy.
She's toting.
Hooga. Toten. Totenhausen. Totenhausen. I got to take a break.
Well, I'm sure Jim is now happy that he made that statement on Sunday.
Hey, when we go, Jim, just shut your mouth,
and
okay?
everybody else at CBS is too.
Right.
Kick him, Michelle.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been talking about you.
And if you don't shut up, I'm going to tell Howard Stringer on you. Anyway, some people at CBS think I'm real funny. Anyway, not that I know the guy. Anyway, when we come back, or I've ever talked to him.
He just sends you birthday cakes.
The guy's in love with me. I hope he doesn't go into rehab. Anyway, when we come back, you can take your choice of what you want to hear. I'll give you the option, Robin.
Okay.
We can take some phone calls. We could always do that. That's always fun. I've got the Tesh CD ROM.
Uh-oh.
He talks on the CD-ROM, and he talks about love and marriage and how to handle your life.
You're intriguing me now.
but that's not what the CD-ROM is about. It's his music CD-ROM. That interview just ended up on this somehow.
Yeah, right.
They had to fill it up with something.
The CD-ROM business is in big trouble. It's a really cool technology that nobody knows anything to do with.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to get CD-ROM.
There's nothing to put on CD-ROM.
Yeah, nobody can think of anything good.
I always thought, as soon as I heard about CD-ROM, I thought, how exciting. I can't wait for this technology.
Yeah, well, I always thought CD-ROM, I go, okay, I think they're going to sell me a helmet and a thing to put on my penis, and I'm going to be having sex with, Christy Brinkley.
No, I thought it was going to be incredible information.
That's what I thought. Oh, no, you can get incredible information. Nobody buys it.
Oh, yes.
You can get encyclopedias. You can get all kinds of...
Not just encyclopedias, though. I thought
everything.
Magazines would come to life for me.
They have all that.
They do, but
they have all of that. Nobody cares.
It's better
the experience.
It's better to just turn to the page.
You can have, as a matter of fact, Robin, you can buy one that has a magazine. You can click on a picture, and the picture will come to life and move around like a zebra running through Africa or something. Meanwhile, you know what it's called? It's called, hey, you can buy a videotape and get that, too. You know, why do you need to sit there and click on stuff?
I don't know.
So, I've got kind of a cool idea for a CD-ROM and stuff, but I've just never gotten around to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, that I'll do it someday. But the thing is that...
Why would you do it since nobody's interested?
Because I'm going to revolutionize CD-ROM.
Oh, okay.
All right? I'm going to make it so that people actually go out and purchase this junk.
You're going to wait till people completely ruin the industry.
Right.
And then you're going to resurrect.
Yeah, just like we do everything else. Wait till everybody screws up. And then once we do it, everyone will figure out what to do.
All right.
But anyway, the thing is that John Tesh puts out a CD-ROM, and it's literally that dumb music that he does.
Yes.
And they say, now you can mix John Tesh's music yourself.
Because he can't.
Right.
He hasn't done a good job.
So
Maybe you can fix
It's one of those bad songs, and they give you 3 little things. You can raise the trumpets, you can lower the piano,
right,
and you can raise the strings. 3 things you can do. So you sit there, you raise it, you lower it, you raise it.
Are you having fun yet?
Yeah, I mean, it virtually makes no difference.
Why would you want to get music so you could fix it?
Especially John Tesh. It would be kind of cool if you had the Beatles music and you could mix and remix a whole bunch of cool stuff, like something you might care about.
Songs that you knew.
Yeah, right. But
and cared about.
This is John Tesh. And whose music doesn't sound any different once you remix it.
You know, Robin, they give you...
His music is audio wallpaper.
Right.
There's not like 24 or 48 tracks. There's 3 tracks.
Yeah.
Piano, strings, and sometimes harmonica.
Yeah.
Harmonica.
Yeah.
Harmonica on one of them.
Yeah, you mix that right out.
You can pull them all down, though.
Yeah, you can pull them all down and you'll be done with it. So they didn't know what else to put on the CD-ROM because what are you going to do with John Tesh the game?
Well, you get some of the videos.
Yeah, and then you get lyric sheets.
You can print. No.
What?
This is my favorite one. There's a little button you click on to print sheet music.
Yeah, sheet music.
Should you want to play
the John Tesh music.
Yeah. If you want to play this song.
I could see John Tesh being a good, like, Mr. Potato Head game.
Yeah, right.
You could take all the parts and move it around.
Yeah, put the bolts in his head.
To reanimate him.
Right.
Really?
Or John Tesh the murderer. He could, like, he could wipe out Connie and her whole family.
Yeah, the stepdad.
Drives me nuts.
Stepdad.
It drives me nuts that John Tesh from Entertainment Tonight gets Connie Selica. That means I could get Vendela.
Well, wait till you hear how he got her. He talks about it on a CD-ROM.
Yeah, I know how he got her. He hypnotized her.
He trapped her.
He trapped her.
Yeah, there were drugs in her drink.
Dug a pit in front of his apartment.
So then the other thing is that they didn't know what else to put on the CD-ROM, so John Tesh answers questions about love and romance.
Nobody asked him.
No.
But he's answering anyway.
Yeah, he'll answer how to keep your marriage going, you know.
It irritated me to no end to see that he and Connie were in People Magazine's
necking
most romantic couple, Fred, and they had video of the photo shoot on Entertainment Tonight, you know, with they had those fans blowing, and Connie's reclining, and John is over her.
What's wrong with this picture? Yeah. What's the problem here?
Yeah, why is John in this picture?
All right, so I have tape of that when we come back if we want to listen to that. Or we can listen to the KKK message, because he has a Black History Month message. Or we could, I got a guy who wants to come in who has been trying to break into Ronald Reagan's house and wants to kill Ronald Reagan because he thinks he's the devil.
Wait a minute.
No, he's already been in Ronald Reagan's house.
Yeah, but he wants to kill Ronald Reagan.
And we have him?
Yeah.
Not locked up?
He has a press kit. He's not even locked up. This is how wacky the country's gotten. Here's his press kit. I got the guy's press kit. Look at this. Here he is. Pictures of him. I thought you go to jail if you threaten the president's life.
Yeah, I thought if you wrote something like that and it could be documented, you go to jail.
That's what I thought. We could talk to him.
Is he walking around now?
Yeah. He's available for interview. You'll come in here if you want. And then we could also talk about, well, anyway, you'll think about it during the commercial. You pick when we come back.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show.
Let me tell you about Snapple, drinks, sodas, teas. The whole Snapple line is so delicious. I love it. Big Snapple fan. Have been for 20 years. Can't believe it's been that long since I saw my first bottle of Snapple. I was sitting at a radio station, WRNW, Westchester, Briarcliff, New York, sitting there doing the show. You guys were late or something. You weren't there. I'm doing the show, and...
we didn't know where the station was. You wouldn't tell us.
Right. It was like my first real radio job, and one of the jocks walks in and goes, dude, try this. Everybody was a hippie, and opened this up, and I said, what is this? This is bottled water? He goes, no. He said, look clear. He goes, no, this is soda. I said, what is this? Root beer soda. I said, clear as water? She says, that's right. No brown preservatives. No artificial coloring. No artificial anything. And, man, was it good. I became A big fan of Snapple right then on the spot.
And then you started doing that test on everybody else, because I remember the first time you did it to me.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to pull a joke.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was in that bottle.
You thought body fluids were in there. But anyway, now they're a big company. Everybody knows Snapple, and you should really see the product expansion that they've gone through. Ever since that original product of the soda, now they've got 100 soda flavors or something, cherry lime Ricky and creme de vanilla, all natural.
Yeah, they're always coming up with new flavors, too.
And they've got new tea flavors and fruit drink flavors and fruit juice flavors for your kids, so that you're just getting fruit juice and nothing artificial. It's great. Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
Stern. It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
All right. Freddie, weren't you supposed to, mix up?
No. He's doing all one artist today.
That's it.
What are you doing?
Whatever you want to do, man.
You know what I want to do. You don't know what I want to do.
Whatever you want, man.
You know how, Robert, sometimes I tell you can read my mind where I want to go on the air? Fred can't read my mind at all.
That's something that goes on here. Gary can't read your mind.
No.
Fred can't read your mind.
No. And Jackie reads the newspaper. That's it. Anyway, you want to hear a little John Tesh because we're running out of time?
Yes.
I got the vibe that that's what you want to hear.
Well, we spent so much time talking about
all right.
it.
By the way, just quickly, a fax came in and said, with regard to that guy who claimed to be Jimi Hendrix this morning on the air, this guy says, Howard, I'm the Puerto Rican Jim Morrison. Please have me on the air. See or no? And this guy says, Howard, this is John Bonham. Of course, the great drummer from Led Zeppelin who died from drinking.
Right.
Tell Jimmy I'm in Cleveland with Jim Morrison. We'll start a new band called Rock Stars Who Choked on Vomit. So for that guy, if Jimi Hendrix wants to get in touch with those guys, it's okay.
They're forming a group. I feel bad for that guy.
Jackie's Pigpen from the Grateful Dead. All right, very good.
Let's all be somebody.
Yeah.
I'm Janet.
Fred's a Martian.
Didn't even have a choice on that.
Oh, I know who you are.
There's no mistaking.
Right.
Gary's dead from the neck up, and the love is returned.
All right, let me just tell you about John Tesh. So you get this CD-ROM.
Well, I just got to say this. I think that we are the only people fascinated with John Tesh, but we can't help it.
Yeah, we can't help it. If everyone else is bored by this, just tune to another show. But I find this amazing that this guy is married to Connie Selico, who I think is a major piece of ass. With the breasts and the face and Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I mean, there's no way to improve that package unless you tell me she's bisexual. You know? But she's into the whole Christian thing, so I think she's pretty much a one-man woman.
So, yes.
And this guy is literally a guy who reads off a teleprompter. Has no noticeable talent.
Mm-hmm.
His
music.
Oh, come on. His idea of ad-libbing is at the beginning of Entertainment Tonight when he's walking and reading off the teleprompter. So you get the CD-ROM, and you can click onto whatever question you want John Tesh to answer. Okay. So let's click on to how do I keep the romance alive? Now, mind you, this is a guy who, first of all, his track record is he was married before Connie Selico.
Right, so he hasn't kept the romance alive, ever.
Right, so he is not really entitled to comment on this.
Mm-hmm. Unless the answer is you marry Connie Selico.
Right, which is the answer. He should just say, I'll tell you how you keep the romance alive. You dump your first wife, you marry Connie Selico, or maybe his first wife dumped him. I don't know the story.
You get a TV show.
Yeah.
Then you dump your first wife.
Right, then you get Connie Selico, and what more do you need to do? It's Connie Selico who's greeting you at the door every night.
That's right. Just you watch her in movies, and you'll always remember how you were turned on to her and thought you could never get her.
You stare at her ass, and when you get tired of that, you stare at her breasts. And then you have a party. And you do everything you want to her.
And then you remind yourself how high your profile has gotten because you married Connie Selico.
And as far as me telling you what to do with your scabby wife, I don't really have advice. I would divorce her.
You want to know how to ditch her? I have some clues.
Yeah, here's how you do that. That would be a good CD-ROM.
She said, why do you even want to stay married?
Right. So here's the thing. How do I keep the romance alive? Now, mind you, he's married to Connie Selico.
Right.
Okay.
Keeping the romance alive is something that Making plans is the most important thing. I think making special dates, especially if there are kids in the family, and the kids are always all over you, and you never have any time for yourselves. It's important to make dates. I mean, let's say this is a Monday. I would typically say to Connie, hey, Wednesday night we're going to have a date. Meet me at 7 o'clock at the house, and if we're both working or whatever, and I'm not going to have you back until 11 o'clock. I want you to wear this.
He's telling his wife he's dressing her up. Yeah, I mean, I don't, most guys who are listening to this.
He's living with a Barbie doll.
Yeah, he's dressing her up. We're not thinking about what our wives are going to wear, because you know what?
And you don't want to see her on Wednesday.
We've kind of seen her and everything. And I mean, do I want to call up Connie Selica and say, meet me at a restaurant 7 o'clock, and I'm not getting you back till 11? Sure. Yes, I do. I want you to put on a thong, meet me at the restaurant. I'll bring my hairy banana.
I'm not having you back home until 11.
Yeah, and then this is what I want you to wear. Yeah, of course. Why didn't you do that with your first wife?
You got to have dates.
Yeah, dates. Like, I need a date. Like, I want a date with my wife. I'm happy to be out of the house so we're not killing each other. And now I'm going to make a date with her? Honey, I want to see you Wednesday night. Now take Connie Selick out of the equation and put your housefrau in there.
He's like, let's say this is Monday. Let's say this is Monday. Honey, I want to see you in about 5 years.
Yeah. Let's say this is Monday. I'll see you in about a month.
Is he supposed to be talking to women or men?
I think he's talking to women.
A target audience.
I think he's talking to himself.
Yeah. I don't think he sold one of these CDs.
Like a woman's probably sitting there saying, tell my husband.
Women must buy his stuff, I guess, if anyone
does. So they're going to say, honey, guess what Connie and John do, and this is what I want you to do to me.
Yeah, well, I would turn to my wife and say, I tell you what, I want you to look like Connie Selica, and I'll do that to you.
Put on a mask.
Yeah, right. Go wear a Connie Selica mask and get some plastic surgery on your body.
The head of Connie Selica.
Yeah, and I'll do that to you every day.
My parents used to do this as well.
Sure.
Where they'd make plans and have it in the future, and so it gave them both something to look forward to. It's a very sexy thing to do.
Yeah, how come you didn't remember that with your first wife?
Parents.
If your parents were doing it.
Yeah, I make plans with my wife. All right, honey, listen. I'm planning to leave the house, and I'm not going to be home for a long time. You want to sell that stupid CD-ROM? You call me first. I'll tell you what to do. First of all, you include a Connie Selica mask so you can stick that on your wife's head while you make your date with her. What a phony. Anyway, there's actually 7 questions.
Did we finish the Connie?
That was
keeping the romance alive?
That was keeping the romance alive. You want to hear one more? Or
yeah, I'm into it.
Great.
I have to tell you something. There's way more than 7 questions.
Oh, you mean you didn't take them all?
Yeah, I just took the ones that I thought were interesting. There's 6 subjects. There's career.
Mm-hmm.
There's music. There's
there's 2. I don't care what he says.
Right. There's romance.
I mean, his career advice can only be read what people write on the teleprompter, and music is
be lucky like me.
Yeah, just play anything you want and hope somebody does it.
There's one part where the guy that produces his albums just answers a bunch of questions about how John gets the sound and stuff.
Oh.
You stay awake. But this is
no dose.
This is in the romance section.
Yeah.
And there were like 2 sections. One was romance and one was like marriage. Mm-hmm. And they probably had like 10 questions each. I just got like the 7 best ones. So there's a lot.
Wow.
He's got a lot of topics.
So now he's an authority.
Yeah.
Well, look. What else is he going to do?
Well, he could be an authority on how to score a hot babe, but...
Yeah. You should let me interview him and then put that on the CD.
He actually discusses that down the line, and if I had his money, I think I could have got her.
Let's see. How should I handle a long-distance relationship?
Who is asking him these questions?
His first wife.
If you have a long-distance love affair...
Give me some alimony-avoiding advice. Tell me how to build up an offshore account so I can...
how did you still have money enough to woo Connie?
Hide funds.
You can have a lot of fun. I mean, it requires staying in touch. You should be writing love letters. And I had a long-distance love affair. 20 days after I was married, my wife was gone for 5 weeks to Budapest. I couldn't get to her. Budapest. Doing my job. I sent her with
my wife was in Budapest acting because she's so gorgeous. What is this?
Well, wait till you see how they communicated.
code over to Hungary. In other words, relating to the alphabet. So let's say A equals 1, B equals 7, C equals 9, like that. And I gave her a code, and I had a code. And then what I would do is I had my computer, and she had a computer, and we were able to fax back and forth. There were times when I had to use the fax machine at the hotel because I couldn't get to her computer. So what I would do is I would just fax her this list of numbers, and it was the sexiest, filthiest stuff you could ever imagine in your life, and nobody knew it but the two of us.
I'm drunk from this.
So, wait a second. Wait, let's analyze what just happened. So John Tesh had a computer. First of all, why was he faxing on the computer? Why didn't they just email each other? That's the first question. Secondly, he created a special code for Connie that A equals a letter, like 1 equals a letter, 2 equals a letter, 3 equals...
A, B, C is all letters.
Okay. He would send her the code. Then he would send her a letter mixed up with... Do you know how much free time this guy has?
Right.
You know what it costs? You know what it costs in time to actually code a message?
And then to decode it on the other, she's got plenty of time, too.
Yeah. I got to get out of my life.
Yeah, like one paragraph would take a week.
Yeah.
Where's the erotic element of cracking a code?
I don't know. And especially when it's from John Tesh.
But you see what it is. Now they've, because there's both stars, people would want to steal their stuff.
Right.
So they have to use this code because they don't want other people to know what they're talking about.
It's more secret than the messages between Hitler and Rommel when they're planning an invasion of Egypt.
And it was filthy.
Yeah. Let's decode this. Oh, my God. John sent me a message. I can't believe what it says. We're invading at 9 o'clock. We're going to kill the filthy Egyptians. Wait a second. I've intercepted a message from Hitler to Rommel. Hey, Gary, 48, 75, 63, 99. Decode that. I just called him an a-hole in my secret language. My John Tesh secret decoder CD ROM.
The code of love.
We're very romantic. We send each other coded messages. In fact, sometimes we even talk to each other with two tin cans attached by string and out separate windows. Like a lot of bother for nothing. No, if Connie Selica looks that good that you want to eat her up every minute, believe me, you don't need to be sending coded messages.
But doesn't this make you now want to go strangle him?
Yeah, more than ever. Except I value my freedom.
Oh, man, wouldn't it be great if we could get a hold of one of those coded messages? Try and break.
You know what? We got to get him to do an interview with us again. The last time we had him in here, it was fun, but it's time.
We didn't know all this stuff.
I demand that he come in here and do another interview with me.
Okay.
I demand it. He has no choice. He doesn't have a yes or no answer. I want a yes answer.
Come on, I got to hear more. What else has he done?
You better buy the CD ROM.
I'm stuck. I got to hear more.
You see, now you're hooked. Now you would actually go out and buy it.
I got to hear more.
He's got to send us a coded message when he comes on. You know, he's got to.
See how long it takes us to crack it.
Yeah. So romantic. Coded message. I'm going to sit there.
First we got dates and coded messages.
Can you picture me spending half my day making up a coded message to Allison?
To Allison, yeah.
For what reason? She's going to do whatever she does anyway.
Pig Latin.
She's not in Budapest.
You a Ed spray, yo a eggs lay, immediately mente.
I'm going to play hard skate.
Yeah. I think that was the end of that question.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, one last question I'll let you do. That's it, and then you got to do the
what
news.
Is it? Make it a good one.
All right, how do I end a relationship?
Oh.
All right, because this is like what he had to do for his first wife,
No
right?
coded message.
Right.
I think if you asked me this question 10 years ago, I'd say, well, if it doesn't work for you, just leave. I don't believe that now. I think if you want out of a relationship, there are a lot of things you should do beforehand. I mean, there's the typical thing where you can make a list of all the good things about the relationship on the left hand of a left side of a piece of paper, on the right side all the bad things.
Just writing, coding.
He's heavily into arts and crafts.
I know.
He sounds like a 12-year-old.
What I'd like to do is buy some cardboard or a big oak tag.
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
a tag board.
Dry board. Yeah.
Dry erase.
And I'd like to make a big line down the middle. I get a ruler. This is what you're going to need: oak tag, ruler, pen, different colored crayons. And I would say that, put all the good things in blue. That's a nice soft tone. And all the bad things in red. And then try to mold a sculpture of your wife out of paper mache. And what you're going to need is strips of newspaper, some flour,
and
water, and you're going to need some clay, perhaps, for the basic mold. Okay.
But I think you need to, whether it's your pastor or whether it's friends.
No, he's too busy with young boys.
Really? He's got a date.
Yeah, I'm going to go to my pastor. The guy can't even make ends meet. I'm going to go ask him for advice.
Or other couples, or whether it's a therapist, before you get out of a relationship, certainly a marriage, you need to give it everything that you got, because my feeling on this is that the love doesn't really start until
things get bad.
Begins, until it's
work. Work and love shouldn't be in the same sentence. If you got to work at it, I say forget it.
Oh, stop that.
I'm telling you.
You know, you say that, but I know it's not true for you.
You know, like, this is work and I hate it. You know, if I got to work with my wife, I'm not doing it. I even told my wife that, because she goes, you know, other couples work at it. They force themselves to go socialize. And I go, honey.
That's not the work.
I don't want to do it.
The work is when you're in there yelling at each other, Howard.
Yeah, I don't want it.
But you do it.
Yeah. Well, it's work. Couple's supposed to mean relax.
Yeah, that's why you're standing at the kitchen door screaming, "Where's my tomato sauce?"
That's right. What, were you there last night? You know, my wife can't figure out how to buy bananas on her own anymore. All it would require her is to go to the super. You know what happens? Every Tuesday. No, excuse me. Every Sunday. By Sunday, we run out of bananas. Now, I eat 2 bananas a day. I have a banana for breakfast, and I have a banana at some point during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I find it helps me to keep my figure slim. So she knows this. And there she is now. That's the alarm. And she knows that I have these 2 bananas a day. And what happens is she buys a whole bunch of bananas every Tuesday. Now, the reason she buys them on Tuesday is because she can't pick up the phone anymore and call the supermarket.
Once a week is all she can do.
Yeah, my wife doesn't even go to the supermarket. She actually orders over the phone. I pay more money so my wife won't hassle me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she used to have to go to the supermarket, she used to yell at me all the time.
And she wanted you to go with her?
Yeah. And I just said, you know what? Find out what it would cost to have the groceries delivered so I don't have to hear you yapping. It's worth it to me, whatever it is.
See, this is the work we're talking about.
Yeah. I worked it out. I said, I don't want to hear anything about how difficult like I go do my job.
You never complain to her about how difficult it is?
I tell her how difficult it is sometimes. I do say it, but I solve it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask her to solve the difficulties that I have at work.
Okay.
I don't ask her to come up with bits. I've never once in the 20 years of marriage asked her to come up with a bit.
Are you sure she was asking for a solution, or did she just want to talk about that?
She was beyond talking about it. She used to yell and scream. She has to go to the supermarket. She can't do it. The packages and how she was to carry them, and it takes up a whole day. And I want you to go with me, and why shouldn't we do this together? And I was just like, you know what? And I wasn't making a lot of money at the time when I made this decision. I sacrificed other things. I said, don't include me going to the supermarket. Here is what I like. The list never changes because I eat the same thing every day. Just make sure this is in the house. That's your job. I don't think that's too much to ask. So, okay. So she started doing the phone call. Now I see she don't even make the phone call anymore. The housekeeper makes the phone call.
Oh, she doesn't even do that?
No, she no longer makes the phone call. The housekeeper does everything. She looks through the drawers, figures out what we need, writes it down, and then calls the store.
All right.
Okay, all right. But there's a big problem now. On Sundays, by Sunday, all the bananas are gone. Because the order goes in on Tuesday.
Tuesday, right.
Now, what you would say to yourself is, why doesn't she order more bananas?
Yeah,
No. She won't look into it. So every Monday, I wake up to make my breakfast in the morning. I cook my breakfast before I come here to work. I make hot cereal with a banana. I like to chop the banana in so it's all mushy and soft.
Right.
And every Monday, the banana's gone. No bananas. Every Monday, and she goes, I can't get the bananas. You ate them all. And we eat bananas, and we're in this house, too, and we eat bananas. I go, so why don't you order an extra bundle? Because sometimes they go bad. I go, you know what? So 3 or 4 bananas will go bad. I'll spring for it. Get me 5 billion friggin' damn bananas. And then we get into the whole yelling thing.
Why wouldn't you order twice a week so that these bananas would be fresh?
That's another thing I say to her. I say, Allison, pick up the phone. Go wild. Call Friday. Well, I just can't call for bananas. So just do it. Make them do it. But you're out all the time. Pick up some bananas. You know we have this problem every Monday.
But if that's
I went
the case,
crazy.
You would have 2. You wouldn't order for the whole week. You'd order for
this
a few
Monday.
days at a time.
Well, you know how to handle your life. This is a woman. I tell you, I went down to eat Monday morning, right?
Uh-huh.
So I look in the banana bin. There's this brown
It doesn't even resemble.
It doesn't even resemble. And it's peeled. Half of it's peeled and half of it's eaten.
Oh.
So here it was Sunday night. She sees this one crummy little banana in there that's all rotten almost. She knows I eat a banana for breakfast. She peels it and takes half the banana for herself.
Oh, dear.
Son of a bitch. And I'm like, for God's sake, she sees this one banana. I've had this discussion with her a million times. Eat something else. But no, she got to get her hands on that banana. So now I barely have a banana for my breakfast. But at least I'm thankful I have half. And I'm eating like a half-rotted banana because it's been open all night.
Yeah, you don't even have to cook it too much.
Yeah, there's like bugs, little tiny bugs around it.
Oh.
By Monday morning, I'm staring not at a banana, but a science project. And all she had to do was pick up the phone and order more bananas. But you know what? I didn't even wake her out of bed this time. Usually I rock her right out of sleep. And I go, what's wrong with you? How could you do that? You know what? Allison, I normally wait until I got home to discuss this with you, but I got to get you out of bed and ask you, how is it you take half a banana and eat it when you know it's the only banana?
Are you shaking it at her?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Shaking the stupid brown, filthy peel at her. But I didn't even bother. I just said, you know what? Forget it. I give up. I give up. That's it. I give up. I can't argue anymore. And I know what you're saying. You say, hey, Howard, why don't you call the store and get the...
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, give me a break.
You guys have a division of labor over there.
Yes, there's a division of duty.
At the risk of destroying the whole bit, it's such a ridiculously simple solution.
Good. To help me.
Such thing as a standing order where you say every Monday...
Not with my wife. No.
You make one call, you never call again.
No, because my wife says, I brought that up. Don't think you're so smart, Mr. MIT. Whatever it was. Michigan State. I said to my wife, what about having the guy on a regular basis? Just know that on Mondays...
You're all eating the same thing.
She goes,
same thing.
Monday, the housekeeper's not here. I'm not home to open the gate. I don't know if she's going to be here. I don't know if I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to sit around all day, wait for bananas. Blah, blah. And it becomes a whole hassle, so I don't want to hear it.
At that point, there's other days than Monday.
I don't know. It just doesn't happen.
If she doesn't want to sit around all day Monday and wait for him,
I know.
She could just go get him. She
won't
him in
go.
5 minutes.
She won't go. She's spoiled. Hasn't cooked in ages.
Why don't you turn this duty over to your assistant or Ganji? In other words, let them do the ordering.
Because you know what? That's embarrassing. It's degrading already.
But they already have the housekeepers doing it. Why can't the housekeeper split it up into 2 days?
Because she's not there on...
Call my wife and discuss it with her.
She doesn't have to have
Would you do me a favor? Do me a favor.
No, I can't do this.
Call my wife for me and discuss it.
No way.
I only eat bananas. That's all I eat. That's it. I eat bananas. Here's what I have. I'm going to tell you everything I have. I want you to know my problem.
I can tell you everything you
have. Right. This is what I need in the house. I eat this cream of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a black guy on the box. Looks like Aunt Jemima or
Rochester.
something. Rochester. Is a guy, he's cream of wheat, and he's a big smiling black guy.
The black guy you like. The guy with the hat and the smile.
And the reason I like that cereal is because I like to wake up and see a smiling black man. The way the black guys used to be when they were porters on the train.
Yes.
I like it. I like the whole scene there. I like that whole throwback.
You want to go back to a simpler time.
It makes me feel good, okay? The cereal is very warming. I cook that. I make 2 portions of it.
Mm-hmm.
That requires water, which I have. I got plenty of water.
They got the water coming.
Water I got. I need the box of cereal. I have a banana that I throw in with it. I have 3 egg whites in there.
Yeah.
I have a big breakfast.
Eggs.
I need eggs. The eggs seem to be there these days. 3 egg whites and the banana. That's it. That's all I need. You would think they had to act like my wife actually had to go get a helicopter and have them lowered into the house.
Or that you were getting something exotic that had to be shipped in from another country.
Right. Then, she had to go over and get it from the other country. Like
no other place to get this.
Like Tom Calasino has to go overseas to get the diamonds. Yeah.
She has to scout out new locations.
Yeah, she actually goes to the Banana Republic and gets bananas. So so that's what I have.
Mm.
And then for lunch, I eat here. Always order lunch here, which I'm not going to get today because Gorilla's not here.
Mm.
But am I going to get that today?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you are, because you reminded me.
I get lunch here every day, so lunch does not have to be worried about.
Right.
And then for dinner, I eat the same thing. Chopped up salad and 4 ounces, 5, 6 ounces chicken.
Mm-hmm.
No fancy chicken, just cooked plain. And some broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I'll be back in a minute. I got to go order your lunch.
All right, go ahead. Now, why can't you handle that? Don't make fun of my wife. All right, let's forget about that. John Tesh has his own problem. What?
Shockingly, it's already been taken care of.
Is that right?
Oh,
Stuttering John
something
jumped on the
actually
case.
worked in this office. Let's all applaud.
Stuttering John on a roll lately.
Right after you said it.
Okay, Cookie. Plenty of things he screwed up. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, it's your turn to inform us of what's going on in the news. And maybe tomorrow I'll get to some more of these John Tesh questions, because
I love them.
They're great.
I'm really learning a lot.
Wait till he gets to tell you about his relationship with his stepson.
Yeah, that's a good one. Does your stepson like your music? You know how when you have a stepson, you got to go overboard?
Yeah.
Like, with your kids, you bring them to the Circus of Happy. If you have stepkids, you got to win them over. You got to get them in that little midget car and have them pouring out with the midgets.
They got to be a part of the show.
Yeah, they got to be in the show.
And not only that, you know, because some guys, the woman is lucky to get a guy to look at her if she's got kids. But when the wife is Connie Selica, you got to impress the stepson.
So which one did we get up to? Did I ever say, how do you plan for a perfect date?
No.
No.
How do I end a relationship? Did we do that?
That was what we were up to.
Oh, we were in the middle of that. Let him finish.
Okay.
That really challenges you. That's when the love really shows.
Right.
Oh, he's done. He's into projects. That's what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's a project.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of work.
Arts and crafts is right.
He spends like 90% of his day just trying to figure out how to stay married.
Yeah. He's got this code he's worked out.
Yeah.
He would have that oak tag up and write the pros and cons down if he wanted to get out and go to a therapist.
Wild.
And he makes dates.
Yeah. How do you plan for a perfect date? Well, first you get Connie Selica. You get famous, and then you have sex with her.
With the right partner, any date is perfect.
You hold her hand and you walk around with her. What's wrong with that?
You take her to the garbage dump. It's a perfect date.
That's right.
I got to hear how he plans for a perfect date. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the CD.
You're laughing at me.
You've come to the right place. Women love
expert
plans. You have to make plans. Whether you've been married for 30 years or whether it's
this is the same answer as the first one.
They want to know that you made a plan. Can I tell you some plans that I made once?
Please.
On my last anniversary, we were in Arizona, and I was trying to think of a way to come up with something that would really knock Connie out. We had
no guy puts this effort into his marriage unless he's married to Connie Selica.
Look at what really taxes him.
Yeah.
A date.
Wait till you find out. You got to hear what went on this date.
All right, let me hear
it's
this.
like no human could do this date. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of money.
You can't
a lot of time.
You can't think of it, and then you can't afford it.
Right.
But the point is, if you really want to just think of a date, does it take you all day? He's like, ooh, I was really puzzled.
I mean, it doesn't take me long to come up with a plan. Here's my plan. Here's my lap. Bend over. Swallow. That's it.
Special date.
That's the date. There's your special date. Now get the hell out of my life. There's your romance. Now get away from me. I'm going to go to sleep.
Go buy a banana.
with Gib with us at the time.
Gib. So that's his stepson, Gib.
Yes.
He brought Gib with him.
And I had to figure out how to get rid of him.
Yeah. I locked him in a baggie.
What I did was I contacted this helicopter company in Sedona, Arizona. It's a beautiful place.
What's this guy making on Entertainment Tonight?
I don't know.
This music must be bringing in some bucks.
I think he's tapping into Connie's purse.
I think he's robbing banks.
No offense. I know what a show like Entertainment Tonight must pay, and if the guy's clearing $250,000, he's doing good.
Well, you got a gold record from him for one of his albums. That's sales of 500,000. And he says every one of his albums has gone at least gold.
Really?
So he's got 5 albums.
I don't believe that, by the way. I'd like to challenge that in court. Can we take him to court and challenge his record
Getting the money from somewhere.
That's a lot of supermarket appearances.
Yeah, maybe this guy's rolling in dough. Could he be making more than $250 on Entertainment Tonight? If that?
But that's not his only income. You have
see.
to just factor in that goes into the pile.
Does he do endorsements?
No.
No.
If he does, I'm not buying.
Does he do specials?
Not that I know of.
So it's just E.T. and the...
All right, let me hear the dates. So far he rented a helicopter.
Ancient Ocean. And I had this guy pick us up at the hotel. We loaded ourselves in the helicopter, and I said, we're going to go for a little tour of the area. So we started helicoptering around.
Hell, I'll go out with him. Sounds like a fun guy.
It's like one of those love connection dates.
Wow. That's a lot of effort. That's why you get married, so you don't have to put this kind of effort into dating.
You want to get rid of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We got the ancient Indian ruins all around Sedona. And then all of a sudden we came up to this big mesa, and the pilot goes, a lot of times people will climb up on these
mesas. It's like a flat piece of rock that's elevated.
Like his head.
He relates.
Me man, if I had Connie Selica, I'd take my stepson, throw him out of the copter, and just take her pants off and do it right in the copter.
Yeah, make her remember the Mile High Club.
Yeah, okay, here's your treat. I'm going to throw your kid right out the window. I'm going to give you the best sex you ever had.
It's a double treat.
Yeah.
Connie, I got a plan.
Yeah.
Let your kid visit the Mesa.
Oh, look, there's some people there on that large mesa now, and they look like they might be in trouble. They're waiting. John, Connie, do you mind if we put down? And Connie's like, no, if they're in trouble, let's go ahead. So
cool.
the helicopter lands.
He's like a superhero now.
Out of the bushes comes a waiter in a waiting outfit, holding a thing of champagne. Opens up the door and says, "Mrs. Tesh, your table is ready."
Mrs. Tesh.
She's like, "What are you doing?" So we file out.
You're not Mrs. Selica.
Helicopter, all three of us, Connie and Gib and I, and right on the edge of this mesa.
This poor Gib is like.
Boy, is there too.
Yeah, no, he's probably like, oh Jesus, this guy's doing my mom. He doesn't. John Tesh doesn't realize that. That's the kid's mom.
Well, the kid's at if I'm not mistaken, the kid's at a really weird age. I think he's 13.
Yeah,
so,
he doesn't want to be doing champagne and watching him and his mom.
He's horny for his mom.
No, he's not horny for his mom.
No,
Fred, what's wrong with you, Fred? You know
Tesh is horny for his mom.
Right, yeah.
But he's at the age now.
Fred, no, you were horny for your mom.
The kid's at the age now where he wants to do to other little girls what John Tesh is doing to his mom.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be along for that?
He just figured it
And
out.
also, it's not his real dad.
But the point is, on a romantic date, your kid doesn't want to be there under any circumstances.
Right. You have to include the family.
Right.
Because it's a new kid. You can't leave him home or he'll hate you.
About 1,000 feet up in the air with no human in sight is a table with a 5-course meal.
Cool. No human in sight. Yeah, only John Tesh is there.
Took off. They left us with a walkie-talkie and a first aid kit, and that's where we had our anniversary dinner.
Well, hey, I can't argue with that. My wife's dreaming of something like that.
No human in sight.
My wife ain't going to get that. My girlfriend is. My wife's just lucky, that she's got such a great guy who has to work that hard. Imagine you have to work that hard for your wife.
Well, yeah, you can't slip up now. That's the end of that marriage if he ever stops doing this stuff. He can't relax for a moment.
Believe me, give her 5 years of aging. He's going to relax right into the arms of another woman.
He'll be jumping off that.
Guys are like that.
He'll be taking her up in that helicopter, and she'll be meeting the man.
Guaranteed. I don't care how much work he puts into it.
Now.
Yeah. Listen, the fact of the matter is, here's the way it is. I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm going to lay it out for you.
You're going to skip through all the crap.
Age better than women. Men are accepted in our society older in terms of looking better. The wives start to look a little skranky, and you go out and on the side, very relaxed, and not to be a big announcement.
Is that what you're telling us you do?
No, I'm different because I'm high profile, and I love my wife beyond what you could even imagine what love
is like. And it doesn't matter what she looks like.
Yeah, I'm in my own private hell.
If you were low profile, you wouldn't do anything because you wouldn't be exposed to all this?
I'd be out screwing around like a madman. I mean, listen to me.
What is he going to lose?
What do I got to lose? Nothing. What's she going to take half of my garbage empire? From garbage collection? Yeah, she's gonna take. I got a whole.
So
I got 3 kids. It's a different scene for me.
What you're telling me is that's going to happen to Baba Booey.
Absolutely.
And that's going to happen to Fred.
Absolutely.
It's already happened to Jackie.
Yep. I know it's happened to Jackie. Jackie can deny it all he wants. Jackie, want to come clean?
I ain't splitting Jokeland with anybody.
Right. He knows what he's doing. Well, listen, she's great.
I have an empire too.
That's right. He does. He's got free CDs.
He has to do what he has to do to keep Jokeland together.
I got to take a break, and that's all I'm going to say about it. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
Yeah. It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Into the news. You know who's a liar? Here's some news for you. Tom Chiusano is a liar. Okay? Here's the big news.
He doesn't keep his word, which is more important. Tom always says, if you give me your word, you must keep it. Well, Tom doesn't keep his word.
Yep, he sure doesn't.
He really prides himself on it.
No,
what, keeping his word? He doesn't keep his word.
He doesn't know he doesn't keep his word, but he doesn't.
Well, and then when he forgets to keep his word, he says, oh, I always keep my word, but I forgot.
Yeah. Well, if I said that, then I'll do it. But you have to remind me.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of my coworkers are liars here.
Who else?
Tim Sabian.
Infinity is infested.
Yeah. Oh, I could. Yeah. Tom's the biggest liar. No. Tim's the biggest liar.
Tim's
then Tom.
the biggest liar?
Right. Then Tom Chiusano. Mr. Virtue.
He's not even first on that.
Right. Our general manager in New York is a liar. but he's not first. It's close, but he's not first.
Can't even be number one.
What?
I beg your pardon?
You're a liar.
I am not.
No, you know you are, don't you?
I am absolutely.
You're not going to come in here and tell people you're not a liar.
I am not a liar. Absolutely.
Sit down. I'll tell you why you're a liar.
You don't want to get on mic and say that.
Yeah, you don't want to challenge me on this, do you?
Absolutely.
You sure?
Absolutely.
When was the last time we discussed how long the length of a promo is supposed to be on this station on my show in the morning? What did you decide with me on the air?
I don't remember.
Rest your case.
We had a long discussion that the...
You can call me a lot of things. You can't call me a
You're a
liar.
liar. You lied to me. You told me on the air that no promo would exceed 30 seconds and that I would play 2 of them an hour. Now we have promos that exceed 30 seconds. They go for over a minute. It's whatever I tell you, you do for about a week. We agreed on it, but you lied to me.
No.
So you're a liar, aren't you?
No, I'm not a liar.
Why? Now tell me how you're not a liar.
Because I'm not a liar.
So if I get tape of that discussion, would you listen to it?
I
and
would
then
say that
then would you say you're a liar?
If you have tape of that discussion,
yes.
I'd be happy to listen to the tape. And then if I said something that's not being done, I would fix it. But I'm not a liar.
But that's a liar.
No.
If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, aren't you lying?
No.
I call that a liar.
How do you figure that's a liar?
We agreed that the spot. We have a lot of commercials during the show. Right?
Yeah.
We have commercials.
Absolutely.
So we sat down and said, the promos are getting so long. They are long. Play that minute promo. You could sit there. You could die from it.
It's a minute and 23
seconds. A minute and 23 seconds.
That's way
And we had this discussion on the air a lot of times. And you said to me, you promised me, Howard, there's a change. From now on, it's only 30 seconds at the most. And, in fact, some of them are going to be about 15 to 10 seconds.
Right. You would at all costs.
Of course you don't remember
fact,
anything. I remember.
I can remember a time when he had a promotion coming up that was lengthy and needed a lot of explanation, and he even came in to say, Howard, there is going to be
he
one
remembers.
promo
He remembers.
that is going to be a little longer, maybe 45 seconds because
I missed the beginning of what
this one
she
needs
said.
a lot of explanation.
My feelings are not regarded
What
here.
did he say?
You said you don't remember coming to my. In fact, I remember the conversation. You came in when we first instituted the rule. You came in and said, "Listen, Howard, we're running a big contest. I can only fit all the information in 45 seconds." I think it was for one of these charity things. He said, "Hey, it's going to go longer than 30. It's going to go 45 seconds. What do you think?" I said, "Well, okay, but let's."
In this instance,
it's hard because all the clients who do live commercials. I met with a guy yesterday from Arizona Iced Tea. He wants me ad-libbing. I said, "There's no time for me to do this. Tom's running promos that run a minute 23." And I got nuts. I said, "That's what he's busy with, promos." And they explain these contests.
Speaking of,
hi, I'm Dave Herman. We have.
Be a rocket scientist to understand how to win these contests.
Hey, I just got in your shorts. You got in my shorts? Yeah, I just got in your shorts. When are you getting my shorts? Oh, I got in your shorts. Where's that promo with the shorts? The shorts and the shorts and the shorts. Listen, that's lying in my book. You did not keep your word to me.
At first, I came in here to defend myself.
Jim Sabian is a liar, and you are a liar.
I am not a liar. I am not a liar.
You are still going to say you're not a liar.
Right. Look at
what are you going to say? Then how do you
I am
explain
not
yourself?
A liar.
And explain to me what
I already did.
You cannot just say you're a liar.
What,
You lied.
you give your word, you forget?
You gave your word. You're a man of your word, I thought.
Absolutely right.
I cannot believe that
But
anymore.
then if you forget your word all the time, what good is it?
He forgets his word. If he gives his word, I told you he'd come in and forget his word. Well, come on.
What I didn't
Here's
forget,
the perfect promo.
What I didn't forget was...
Hey, Pete, let's give away some money. Okay. Boom. That's it.
That's
great explanation. Stay tuned.
Perfect.
That's how you do it.
Absolutely.
You ever see commercials on TV? They have 3 or 4 words sometimes. That's it. It's a mood you create. Everything doesn't have to be explained.
There, my dear.
No, not always. Not always, darling.
Mother dear.
Yeah, mother dear. There's a visual there. Listen.
Yes, dear.
I hate to break the news to you, but you're not a man of your word.
Yes, I am.
All right? Maybe you're not a liar, but you're not a man of your word.
I'm a
How's
man of
that?
my
You want to call it whatever you want. You're not a man of your word.
Okay, no.
You lied to me.
No.
Okay.
Now. I actually came. I have something here. I don't have something here for you.
I don't want anything. I don't want anything.
He doesn't want anything. Not
I
even
don't
all
want.
those
I
promos.
want you to keep good on your word. Now go out and think about how you're going to make a good on your word. And I will find the tape.
Now
of you
you're going
saying
to
it.
swear to us you don't remember anything about having a discussion about promos and the length
Of course he
them?
does. Of course he does.
Come on, Tom.
He's going to go to El Salvador.
Yeah. Tom, I tell you what. Will you be willing, if I find that piece of tape and I'm right, will you be willing to resign your job? No, why not?
No, because if a mistake has been made, I'll fix the mistake.
It's not a mistake.
But if
It's a
you
lie.
find that you're not a man of your word,
If I can prove you're not a man of your word, will you resign?
Yeah, if you can prove I'm not a man of my word.
Yes.
And something really material, absolutely.
Oh, really material?
What does that mean?
You mean you made a promise that you were going to keep the promos down under 30 seconds, and if you were going to go over 30 seconds, we were going to discuss it. And I can find that conversation. Wouldn't you say you're not a man of your word?
No, I would say that that it hasn't been followed through the way it should have, and I would fix it.
Oh. All right. Maybe you had your fingers crossed. Maybe you had your fingers crossed. Maybe you had your fingers crossed when you told me that. Yeah. Very good, Tom. You're a man of your word. In your own mind. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Please. You're embarrassing me.
You want that camera?
What camera? All right, that I want.
You found a
I'll quickly
camera?
get that. No, I don't want any cameras. That's okay. I don't need cameras. I need you to be a man of your word.
Those people are here. They came here to give you your camera, so,
Who came here to give me my camera?
Gary had set it up.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Who's here now?
Yeah.
I got to do the news. Who's it? Why didn't they come in during the commercial?
Because nobody came. Nobody knew.
What did you do? What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did. Now I'm going to do a 9-hour Harvey Electronics.
You know what I did?
What?
I walked to the back. And I came, hey,
you're giving me a heart attack.
I'm not taking even.
Hi, Frank.
Not even nearly taking the blame for this.
Come on in. This is the guy from Harvey Electronics, Frank Karp, and his beautiful friend.
She's from Sharp.
Oh, you're from Sharp?
Yeah.
I feel funny taking a camera. I don't want to take a camera from you guys.
I'll take it. No.
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to end up taking it.
Somebody
She jumps right in.
Somebody already took one camera, but the wrong
Tell the truth. Say, I swear to God.
I swear to God.
That you handed my camera, when we had a client meeting from Harvey Electronics, you handed my camera to Frank Flores.
Do you want to see Frank Flores so you can identify the person you gave the camera to?
I can't tell you how many times I've been in client. He claims that you guys are lying.
We
and
handed
that you
him the camera.
You did.
Do you know?
Excuse me. Did
What?
you walk out of here that day?
Yes.
Without the camera?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we did an investigation of our own people to make sure.
Really?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
We hooked them all up to polygraphs. There were 3 of us there.
No, you didn't.
We had to swear. As a matter of fact, we were talking about inspecting their homes.
Now you're lying. Now you're yanking me. I'm asking you for the truth.
The truth is,
I don't want to be angry at Frank. I don't want to do this as a bit.
Flores was the last guy to see that camera.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's your word.
That's my word. My word.
I know you to be an honest guy.
I am an honest guy.
Well, who knows? All right, where is Frank?
On his way in.
All right. This is the third time.
He swears that he did not take this camera.
Frank Flores is a sales guy here.
And you can't trust this.
We have client meeting, had a very lovely meeting with the people from Harvey Electronics. In the meeting, Harvey Electronics brought a camera for me from Sharp. It's the Sharp View Cam, right? Is that what it's called?
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that's really nice.
Gorgeous.
So anyway, yeah, that is really nice. In fact, I'm going to take that. All right, anyway, so let us think. Don't get it near Frank.
Get his hands on it.
All right, wait a second. Here's the point. When you said to me, Frank, can you stop videotaping me? It's really annoying. All right, thanks. When you said to me, listen, let me tell you something. I go into these meetings, these client meetings, and the client always says to me, do you want
the product?
The product. And I always say, no, not necessary. And then that means Frank gets the product from the client, and then when I'm back in my office, he gives it to me.
Right.
That's the way we do it. Everyone knows that's how you do it, because I don't want to seem like I'm some kind of grubby guy.
Sure.
Even though I am. So, in this meeting with Harvey Electronics, one time I had a meeting with a different company. They gave me a sound system. I said I didn't want it. Frank took it back to his office and installed it, basically.
I told you what happened with that. I did not feel that.
He commandeered it.
On another occasion, did I catch you in my office stealing an OJ mask?
Yes.
No, you didn't catch me.
But you took the OJ mask out of my office, right?
Yes, I did.
He took it out of my office.
Yes, he did.
I think that Frank might have like a psychological problem.
Yeah.
He could be a kleptomaniac.
And not know it.
He's so sincere when he says he didn't do this.
And look at him looking over my camera. Anyway, listen to this.
That's a lot nicer than the one I have. This is
Anyway.
an improved model.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Frank Flores, who works here, was in the meeting with me, with Frank Karp from Harvey Electronics.
Okay.
Frank offered me a Sharp View Cam.
Yeah.
It's a really cool camera, no doubt. I mean, did I want it deep inside? Yeah. Of course, who wouldn't want that?
Absolutely.
Can I afford to go out and buy one for myself? Yes.
Sure.
Would I go out and buy myself one? No, because I'm very cheap. All right? But it was offered to me, and I said, no. But it was clear
that
I
the
wanted.
deal was in.
Everyone knew. The guys from Harvey Electronics knew.
Okay.
Everyone knew. It was not like I'm the world's greatest actor. It was like, oh, no. You know, it was like, yeah. Okay.
Nobody bought the act but Frank.
Frank Karp, I am telling you from Harvey Electronics, what happened, what follows after this, I never got your camera. You guys assumed I got the camera and never thanked you or anything.
Now, are you serious that you never got the camera?
I swear on my life.
I believe him. I believe he didn't get the camera.
I would tell you. No, yeah. I would never pull something like that.
All right.
I'm not going to sit and malign Frank.
Character.
Yeah. I mean, yes, he's Spanish, and yes, the stereotype is that they steal. But I would not malign his character. I did not get this view cam. Believe me, I would know if I had it.
All right.
There's enough people who work in my house, along my wife, they would all know that I have this camera.
Howard, are you aware of the sales staff? They have their own suspect in this case?
Oh, they do?
They have a suspect, because I'm privy to that information.
Who is well, Frank Flores came to me and said the following. The guys from Harvey Electronics are lying. They set you up on this, that they took the camera back with them, and that they never really gave it to anybody.
When did he tell you this?
He told me this last week when I confronted him.
Because his contention on the air was that he never remembered being in the meeting. He didn't remember the camera.
He's a real shifty one.
Well, we have a change in testimony.
That greasy little mustache, you can't hide behind it. Now, what is your story? Clarify.
My story is that I do remember the meeting. I didn't say that I wasn't in the meeting.
Oh, stop it. I could bring up the tape.
Yes,
you could bring up the tape.
If we weren't so lazy, we'd bring in the tape. So go ahead, yeah.
And the other thing is that I don't remember them giving you the camera. I certainly did not touch the camera. That is what they said, that I never touched the camera.
Well, Kathy Tobin, our own
Kathy
secretary...
Tobin is lying.
Oh, she's lying.
Kathy Tobin is lying. And I'll confront her right here.
All right, Kathy, come in here. Kathy says she saw you with the camera after the meeting.
You were the last person she saw with the camera.
She's lying.
You were saying she's lying.
She's lying.
Kathy, come in here immediately, and I'll swear you in.
So does Kathy have the camera? What's going on
Kathy,
here?
do you promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
You know, we're going to start needing a court reporter for this show.
You're not going to need it for this one. This is a clear-cut case of crime. You're as guilty as Colin Ferguson, Frank.
There's nutty, too, I think.
Kathy, did you see Frank walking around with my camera?
I'm pretty sure it was Frank.
Oh, boy. She's changing
I feel like Marsha Clark. And someone just pulled the rug up.
I remember being in the hallway and a man handing you the camera, and I assumed it was Frank because he was in the meeting.
Now, hold on a second. Let me back up. Let me take you back. Hold on.
All right.
I remember the camera in your hand.
So you admit.
Uh-oh.
I admit to nothing. What has it got to do with me?
She says the camera was in your hands.
Oh, in my hands?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
It was in my hands? Dude, boy, you just changed your story completely.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I looked at it. And what did I do with the camera?
You handed it back to the person who handed it to you, who I thought was Frank, because I remember it being a man.
What happened to you saw Frank?
Well, I thought it was Frank because he was definitely in the meeting, and everyone else agreed that he was in the meeting.
So what man did I hand it to?
So you were just... Could have been Frank, could have been another guy. I don't know.
Right, but the point is
Gary
that...
and Frank look alike. They both have mustaches. They're both short.
Well, you're some witness.
Yeah.
Kathy, I tell you something. You better go check yourself into a hospital. Go ahead. What kind of thing is that? She came in the other day.
Gary from Frank?
Howard? Gary is the other person who is suspected by the sales department. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. It's not my suspect, but he's suspected by the...
Isn't this interesting? The plot.
Does Gary have a view? Gary, is there any truth to this?
Not at all. There's no reason. First of all, I never go to you. I don't schedule your sales meetings. I don't go to your sales meetings.
Right.
I know nothing about your sales meetings. I've never been in one of your sales meetings.
And you never saw
I never get the product from your sales meeting. And there's no reason to... I can show you... I own a Minolta camera that's like 10 years old.
Right.
That doesn't play those kind of tapes.
So you don't have a video camera?
Turn my house upside
Do you
down.
have a video camera?
Yeah, a Minolta video camera.
All right, very good. I never for a minute suspected it.
Oh, no. Sure. He's not Spanish.
No, well, that's true. No, but you have a history of taking things, number one. You have a record of taking things from my meetings.
We should have him
The only thing... Wait a second. You know what? I'll take a polygraph.
Would you take
Oh, I think you firmly believe you didn't take it.
Oh, I know I didn't take it.
Right. Would you take sodium pentothal?
Yes, I would.
You would?
Whatever.
Yes, I would.
All right. Well, that'd be interesting. Then we could ask him a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so you...
I did not take the camera.
All I know is you were the one in there.
Howard... She said, look what Kathy Tobin said.
The trail is
All I'm saying
cold at this point.
Do the people at Harvey Electronics have that camera?
No, they do not.
And they walked out of the meeting giving the camera to someone?
Empty-handed.
And who did they hand the camera to?
Frank Flores was the last guy in the room, and he's the guy who had his hands on the camera.
Thank you.
Wow.
Who else is...
Are you calling our client a liar?
Yes.
You are?
No, what I'm saying is...
You're crazy.
I know, I'm crazy. I better take that real quick.
Let me ask the woman from Sharp. What is your first name, please?
Sue.
Sue, do you want to give your last name?
Blessing.
Sue Blessing. You seem like a very honest woman. Raise your right hand. You promise to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. Would you, are you very familiar with the Sharp view cam?
Very familiar.
All right. Would you say that these cameras have legs?
I would say they need assistance by hand.
I see. So these cameras don't have an ability to walk off by themselves.
No.
You have perfected this camera, but not to the point where they can walk off by itself.
That's correct.
All right. That's all. That's the end of, unless anybody wants to cross-examine.
Is there cross-examination?
One last question. Would you take your top off? You would not, right? I didn't think so.
No.
You don't seem the type. Frank will take the top off.
Who is your representative?
Right.
I have no legal representative.
Well, you don't need one. Most Spanish people don't get legal representation. All right, very good. I believe you took it. Nothing will ever convince me that you haven't. I would like to accept. I really don't want the camera.
I'll take it.
Yeah, right. You take it from me.
You have one already.
Right. I don't. You know, I feel funny accepting this. This is crazy. I don't want to take it.
All right, I'll take it.
But why don't you take it,
I'll take
and then I'll
make sure you get it.
Right. That's right. All right. Hey, thank you, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
Harvey Electronics.
That Sharp camera is really great. It's a little too great. People can't seem to keep their hands off it. Look at Jackie.
What about me?
Hey,
I do lots of videos.
Just leave it here. Forget it and just leave it here. I'll take care of it.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks you guys. See you, Frank. I went to summer camp with Frank.
I don't need one. I got one.
Oh. He saw it just lying around.
Yeah. How come Howard gets it?
What's my birthday?
All right, Gary, see if you can...
I am going to take this, and I will make sure that it gets home with you.
All right, now I'm going to remember the mustachioed man that took the camera.
And does it have a power pack with it?
Appears to. This is what it looks like what this is.
Right. Now, not that I want it, but...
And it even has a carrying case.
Yeah, just wrap that up and don't break it.
Ooh,
and get your hand off the lens, you fool.
I don't know.
Thank you. All right. I knew I was going to get one of those. Eventually.
I was wondering why you kept talking about it.
Yeah. Everyone thinks Frank is guilty, right?
Everyone.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed out that how my name got dragged into.
I'm a little bummed out how Kathy suddenly changed her whole story.
Yeah, what was that all
How
about?
reliable is she?
She was adamant in her identification of Frank the last time we spoke to her.
That was the big surprise.
You know, this is exactly what happened in the O.J. case.
Yeah. I bet you Frank took her out in the back, had sex with her, and convinced her that...
All of a sudden, she doesn't know.
Yeah, busy.
Shut your mouth.
I assumed it was Frank because it was a man.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy can't tell one man from the other?
We all look alike.
What happened there? Do you have any clue?
No.
That's not like her. She's usually pretty all there, you know? What's her story?
I don't know.
Where's the camera? It's interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
We should offer amnesty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Well, Frank said this camera was going to show up, and I don't know how he could say that if he didn't know something.
Of course. Yep.
And he says you're going to be very embarrassed.
When it does.
Yeah.
When it shows up.
Yeah, well, it showed up all right.
And you are a little embarrassed.
Not at all. Not a bit. All right, thank you. We got to get to the news now. This is absurd. Every day with different people dropping in all of a sudden.
Unannounced.
Now, where were we, Robin? Let's talk
We hadn't
news.
even started.
Right.
But I first wanted to question you on what you think of this Senator Al D'Amato and Claudia Cohen story. Claudia Cohen, who used to be the gossip on the Live with Regis and Kathy Lee show, is rumored, but they have pictures of them together, so I guess it's more than a rumor, that she and Senator Al are dating.
Well, Regis and, I used to watch Claudia Cohen on Regis and Kathy Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was a pretty hot number. And, a bit of yenta, but very hot number.
Mm-hmm.
And I read in the paper that not only is she a millionaire from inheritance from her father.
Right.
She
was divorcing Ron Perlman, one of the richest men
where she got
around.
She got millions.
Yeah.
So she's a real catch.
Yeah, she can pick up the tab.
And evidently, since Senator Al has become so big a deal, he's like the guy to get.
He's the most eligible bachelor aside from John F. Kennedy Jr.?
Yeah, and Senator Al, they showed a picture of Senator Al's first wife who was a knockout
He
in the
was.
paper.
I couldn't believe how pretty the first wife
Yeah, I
was.
thought he left a housefrau somewhere.
No way.
How old was the first wife?
I don't know, but she looks terrific. You're not kidding. And now he's with, I hope we're invited to the wedding. I certainly do.
Oh, you think there's going to be a wedding?
Well, that's what it says on the front page of the Post. That he's moving for, Cindy says he's moving for a full divorce and that he's going to marry Claudia Cohen.
Wow, that's...
A Jewess. a duet.
I think they just met each other. They couldn't be thinking of getting married.
Senator Al's a very powerful man, whether in the Senate or in the bedroom. A lot of women go wild when they see him.
That's amazing.
I've seen him in action. I mean, I've seen him at the card table. I almost slept with him.
I'm telling you, he only met her 6 weeks ago, if that.
I bet you Senator Al's going to dump us now that he's with Claudia.
No, why would he do that?
Because she's not going to, she's going to think we're quite
she
polite.
likes us.
She does?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know?
I've met her.
Oh, where'd you meet her?
At the Rainforest concert one year with her former husband, and she was all giddy when she met me. Oh, I'm such a big fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How the hell did Senator Al become a catch? I gotta start dating.
When that starts happening.
Yeah, I'm going out on the town. I must be Romeo then.
Oh.
But hey, congratulations to Senator Al. Who the hell?
I read the story about them being together somewhere else a couple of weeks ago, and that they were all touchy-feely.
I'm just happy.
I thought that was inappropriate behavior for a senator.
I'm just happy we have a senator who likes us.
And now it's gotten to this point that he's considering a full divorce and marriage.
I don't know. I'm just happy we have a senator that likes us. Let's keep it that way.
Next story.
Next story.
Oh, in other words, you can't discuss.
I think I've discussed about as much as I'm gonna. Who the hell knows what's going on there?
What's the date? Spring training in baseball.
We got an FCC problem on our back.
Yes, sir, I gotcha.
Very few friends.
Let him do what he wants.
Let him do what he wants. He wants to date, let him date.
Let's talk about something
Thank
you can
you.
discuss,
Right.
like baseball.
Go ahead. That's no problem. Is Senator Al involved in that?
No.
All right,
Spring training is supposed to be getting underway, but of course the strike is still in effect, so they're going to be fielding a bunch of scabs to go to spring training and work out.
Really?
And they're going to try to field these scab teams if the strike continues and make people pay money to go see these games.
Wouldn't it be wild if we found out Senator Al had 5 wives?
Had a double life?
He had a double life.
He's a Mormon.
Yeah. So scab baseball is around the corner.
That's what they're saying.
Good.
Everybody's all upset and disheartened. Here's Eddie Murray, who is a baseball player, talking about how he thinks it's such a sad deal that's going on.
Well, I'll tell you my solution.
I feel sorry for baseball. I feel sorry for the owners going to this length to do this, but I'm pretty confident myself that the fans will shoot it down. I mean, you're out there to see, I think, the guys you want to cheer for, and I don't think they can really, cheer for anyone out there.
No, well, Eddie's a little long-winded and certainly makes no sense, but the players now should declare that they can start their own baseball league. And they should call it something else so that there's not an antitrust action against them. And it should be called woof ball.
Wiffle ball.
Yeah.
A Senate Judiciary Subcommittee yesterday held hearings on the federal antitrust exemption enjoyed by Major League Baseball, and they had a couple of people very much involved in the whole deal there to testify. Here is a little interchange between Senator Howard Heflin of Alabama, who was questioning owners rep Bud Selig about the increased cost of going to a baseball game in the first place.
Obviously, we share your concern about ticket prices. I just want to cover that very quickly. In the last 25
but also your hot dog prices, your popcorn prices, everything else. The whole prices of everything else is going to be, we got the danger price and out of the whole
Who is the guy who sounds like he's whacked out there? I hope that's the senator?
What?
Oh, I thought that was the owner. Oh, for Christ's sake. That's what people... Where is he from?
He's from Alabama.
Yeah, that's who they elect from Alabama. Where's the popcorn brand and the brand and the
hot dog prices.
Yeah, he's worried about it. Listen, that's called commerce, genius. Listen, people will reject this scrub baseball.
Scab baseball.
Whatever you want to call it. You know what it reminds me of? It's like when we were working at NBC, we got fired, and they brought in Fred and Al Rosenberg to replace us. The two scabs.
The two scabs, Fred and Al.
Yeah, it didn't work, right? So, unbelievable.
I go to like a half a dozen games a year, sometimes even more. I can't think of one person who's going to go to see this instead of real baseball, and they're all bragging that well, it's going to be like a third of the price.
Yeah.
Like instead of $50,
that's a real bargain.
it's going to be $5. But why would you pay $5 to see people
you
don't care
don't
about?
Right. Well, look, here's the point. The baseball is really run in a ridiculous fashion. I don't know why more people aren't behind the players. The players deserve all of the attention, and the owners are really sharks. They have a monopoly. They want to continue to treat it like a monopoly. They want to say to the players, you can only make so much your first year, your second year. We don't want to have free market. This is big business. Television pays big money for these baseball games.
I thought it was interesting. Lenny Dykstra had the perfect... He says, I can't believe we can't sit around and split up these billions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nobody wants to give up those billions. And really what is at issue here is that the real argument is between, let's say, George Steinbrenner and the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs or whatever their baseball franchise is called.
Little franchise that doesn't make a lot of money.
Right. That's what it is. What really should happen is baseball, in terms of Congress, they should step in. Absolutely, and say that this is no longer, you can't call this a small business. It is a big business.
Congress can't figure out which would be the best side to be on.
Yeah.
So they're staying out of it until the whole situation is resolved.
They won't do the right thing. This could be settled in 2 seconds. You should be allowed to have 97 teams. Let the free enterprise determine who the popular teams are. And who gets the baseball, the television rights?
If a small franchise can't keep itself together, let them move somewhere that can.
That's right. You know why the small franchises couldn't keep themselves together? Because, like the New York Yankees, don't want to give them a big chunk of the baseball revenue, the TV revenue, rather. Now, this is an argument between the big owners, and they have to sit down at the table and say, hey, listen, we got to split the TV revenues evenly.
See, it works that way in football, and that's why a team like Green Bay can sustain itself, because it's a tiny city. Compared to New York, they all split the TV revenue.
That's right. But, of course, the owners in baseball don't want to do that. And the players are not at fault here. The players are right. They deserve all the money they can get or no money.
If they can't get it.
If they can't get it, let them get what they want, just like you do with your job.
But just like Dykstra said, we're not quibbling over pennies here. There's a lot of money.
It's billions.
It seems that everybody should be happy with this money.
Quite frankly, Dykstra better hope they end this strike fast. He ain't getting any younger. How old is Old Nails?
Early 30s.
Yeah, it's time for him to get back out there.
Old in baseball.
You're not kidding. It's called close to retirement. But the players are right. They're 100% right. There's no issue here. It is a bunch of greedy owners who will not give up.
And they're using the players as a battering ram.
They sure are. This is not about the players. Players should be able to ask for whatever they want, and it's up to the owner to pay them or let them move on and let them go to some other team.
Are the like Sports Channel and MSG? They're not going to carry these games, are they?
Probably, yeah. Sure, they will.
Now, why
not?
Why should I pay $12.95 a month for Sports Channel?
That's your
don't
prerogative.
That's a question you have to answer.
They're going to let you know in advance that they're not giving you the same quality programming.
If you can't read the newspaper and figure that out, then you ought to pay the $12.95.
Yeah, right.
Gary, you're asking a lot of questions that I think are pretty obvious. Okay.
Well, you know I'm stupid.
No, okay.
I don't know who's playing. Let me buy this game.
The last time I checked, this was the United States of America. In the United States of America, it's free enterprise. Baseball should be free enterprise. It's not. It's set up improperly. It was set up to be a gentlemanly sport in the beginning of it.
And there's no gentleman in it.
There's no gentleman in it, is right. It's like saying all of a sudden, radio, you can only make so much your first year. Who are you?
I don't remember us planning a future together.
I didn't buy into that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so go ahead.
The trial of the man accused of shooting up the Long Island Railroad train on December of 1993, leaving 6 people dead and 19 wounded, is nearing an end.
Well, it's about time.
Colin Ferguson rested his case yesterday and decided not to take the stand in his own behalf. But he will get one more chance to convince the jury that he didn't do it.
He
will have his closing arguments. He's expected to say once again that it wasn't him, even though there have been 12 witnesses who identified him as the shooter. So there you have it. The end of the most bizarre case is around the corner. It'll soon be in the hands of a jury to determine exactly what happens to Colin Ferguson. Does he walk or does he go to jail?
We have to take a break. And when we come back, more news. Right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Howard Stern Howard Stern mornings. You're rock all day. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
I hope so. If this isn't the Howard Stern Show, I'm helping somebody else get ready. All right. We're musically grooving. We're doing the news. We're on a roll. Go ahead, Robin.
I was just looking at this picture of President Reagan in the paper with...
Thank you.
Former Prime Minister...
Itzhak Shmaroon Perez.
Lady Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, yeah?
I thought she was a baroness.
Yes. She's a lady.
She used to be a lady today.
She's my lady. Da-da-da-da-da-da, and she's a lady.
So I was just interested that Ron can still hold a cup and all that stuff.
Oh, he's holding her cups?
No.
Oh, I see.
Got a cup of tea or something.
Oh. Ooga. Yeah, but he thinks that's the lady he's holding. Yeah, he's all right.
Let's hope he's got Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's isn't that bad.
Oh, it gets worse.
Nah.
Yeah.
He's Reagan. He'll be able to handle it.
You think so? He'll beat it?
He'll beat it.
The Gipper?
Yeah.
All right, where was I? Where was I going? I just finished talking about Colin Ferguson. He's going to be doing his closing arguments in the next day or two.
You know, the great thing about Alzheimer's is you don't know you have it. That's what's so great about it.
No, at the beginning you do.
Do you?
You know that something's wrong.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But that don't last long.
No, there's a point at which you slip over and you don't know anything.
You're happy as a baby.
That's right. Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, it's not funny, Jackie. I can't stand it when you chortle. It's people's misfortune.
Well, then you better be prepared to throw up.
Okay, on to the O.J. case. Lots of developments yesterday. Poor O.J. must have been reeling from the pressure. There was a lot of bad news. First of all, Rosa Lopez, his star witness, the woman who lived next door, she was a maid, and claimed to have seen the white Bronco parked at the house at the time O.J. was supposed to be committing the murders.
Yeah.
She has skipped town and gone back to El Salvador.
Oops.
His lawyers say this is a terrible blow to his case, and they want the judge to compel her, but they don't know how to come back.
You will come back.
They say she's absolutely essential to the case. Then, of course, yesterday in court it was revealed that they found O.J.'s blood on a gate at Nicole's condo shortly after the slayings.
So you mean that never came out before?
No, this was not known before. That the DNA, they knew there was some blood. I suppose that the blood had been taken there, but the DNA shows now that it's O.J.'s blood.
That's what's great about DNA testing. Takes a long time for them to get the answer, and then when they get the answer, it's a boom.
Boom! It's like a bomb going off, spreading all over that defense.
Yeah.
So they released that bombshell in court yesterday. They also had an argument over the bloody sock that was found at O.J.'s house. Everybody was scrapping over who should get it and how much blood they should be able to test, and the defense argued, or the prosecution argued, that they needed the whole sock.
Right.
Because this particular element that they're testing for can show up in detergents and a whole bunch of other things, so they need the entire sock to
Understood.
test. So they got it. Judge Ito sided with them. And finally, a commercial that O.J. did for some new company he was going to do a sponsorship for.
Yeah.
Shows that O.J. wasn't even taking medication for his arthritis anymore.
There goes that defense.
Claimed that he couldn't have possibly committed the crime because he had incapacitating arthritis.
He'll still walk.
Well, here's a little bit of that commercial or speech or whatever it was that O.J. did for some new vitamin drink or something that he was doing.
Vitamin drink.
Here's a happy O.J.
Okay. I think this is it. I'm not sure.
Well,
is it? No.
I don't think so.
Why is this? Look at... I swear, this is it.
He's so guilty, we can't free O.J.
Why is this in here? Yeah, but it's numbered with a 4.
We can't free
with the news cards. Look at this.
That?
Yeah.
Was that what you were playing? Because that's
oh, okay. All right. Oh, maybe I hit the wrong one. Okay.
Boy.
That's the new jingle that he did for the vitamin drink? Oh, here it is.
I had the beginnings of rheumatoid arthritis, and I was having really a tough time. I actually had mornings that I could not open my door. I could not turn my wrist because my wrists, my fingers, my elbows would all get swollen up.
Sounds like fun. Could endorse him for playing football. Now I'm all better. I'm fit enough to kill people.
All of a sudden, I was getting another 10 yards on my drive and then before I knew it, I just started skipping the Naproxen and skipping the Indocin and skipping the pain pills, the Advil. I mean, I was one of these guys with 6, 7 Advils a day, and until the day where I don't have to take anything. And
it's with the echo.
Well, he was in a hall talking to these people.
I see.
So there you go. Today I don't have to take anything.
Well, there you go. Well, there goes that whole arthritis. Oh, I can't lift anything. I can't do anything. Oh, that's funny.
I mean, his defense now looks like a piece of Swiss cheese.
Cut a hole right through it. Well,
is there another OJ there?
Robin, there is one here that is not labeled, so I don't know.
Well, let me see what number it should be.
There's a number 49, believe it or not.
Oh, boy. I got a lot of cards
Or 10.
today.
Maybe it's number 10.
I don't know whether that could be it or not.
Right.
Don't play that yet.
All right.
No, OJ should be number 5. 4
yeah,
or 5.
we played that. We played them all.
Oh, you played them both?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not realize that.
It's okay.
So anyway, yes, the prosecution's case seems to be shoring up even as we speak, and OJ's defense seems to be falling apart. The trial continues, and yesterday, OJ's best friend, Al A.C. Cowlings, held a press conference, only he didn't answer any questions. He was speaking to the press for the first time in order to announce his 900 number.
Oh, how despicable is this, making money off of the dead?
Well, when they asked one of his representatives about that, he said, hey, everybody else is making money off of OJ. Why not his best friend, Al?
Why not AC?
So here's Al Cowlings discussing the new line, 1-900 4AC or something like that.
If you call this, you ought to be ashamed. 1-900-4AC. Call for AC. Something like that.
Something like that.
Shouldn't even give the number out.
Through live conferencing and pre-recorded texts, I will share with the callers my life experiences with OJ from my childhood through our NFL days, my close relationship with Nicole, and my views on the media. Callers will be able to leave messages and personal questions that they would like for me to address.
Oh, boy. What a racket.
And it costs $3 a minute.
Yeah, sure. Someone will call that. I'll tell you something. This guy, I saw him on TV. I wanted to puke. He was sitting there. He's reading. You have to hear him when he's talking.
No, listen to this next part because his reading is not that good either.
All right, I'll get back into it in a second.
I feel that the media has consistently sensationalized the facts and negatively exploited the many aspects of this tragedy. So in my personal effort to lend the truth and the sanity, I've chosen to speak to the public directly via a 900 call for AC program. Yeah. This way the words and the emotions are truly mine without taking it out of context.
Judge Ito had any balls, he'd take all this money and give it to those two children. Listen.
Well, you can't do that. He's a private citizen. He's not charged with anything.
Figure out something to charge him with. The idea here is that this guy gets on TV and he says, hey, let me tell you something. I love OJ. My man can't be guilty. And I love Nicole so much. And anyone who knew them, OJ would never do a thing like that. They should just hold up the pictures of her being beaten. The big black and blue marks all over her face. She-Vos, AC. Be ashamed of yourself.
OJ was
shame.
So well thought of.
Yeah.
During a portion of his life that if he had married another black woman after he divorced his first wife, he probably would have been touted or picked to run for government. He might have been the next governor of California or a senator or a congressman.
That's just what OJ would have been good at. Running government. Believe me, he would have been perfect. He should have been a senator. Senator OJ. Oh, I'd like to know what AC and Kardashian and Simpson talked about for 3 days in that house. That's what I like to know. I see Kardashian. He sits there at the trial all the time.
He's a lawyer now.
Yeah.
When they went out for that field trip, Kardashian was in the legal team surrounding O.J.
Fantastic. I'd really like to know what's going on there.
Pay $3 a minute for that.
Yeah. Give me the real conversation. I'll know. I just want to know. I'm not saying
ABC will be saying anything. It's worth paying $3 a minute.
Yeah, what's he going to say? I believe O.J. did not do it. Well, gee, you also, I bet you believe in Santa Claus. A despicable guy. I saw it. I wanted to vomit. This poor girl was beaten on a regular basis to the point where O.J. was actually hauled into court. Believe me, against the police didn't even want to haul him into court, but I guess they had to.
The beatings were so bad that it warranted it. They had ignored it all too often.
And this guy, Ron Goldman, seemed like a hard-working guy, trying to make something of his life. I don't know. He was working in a restaurant.
He could have been a carefree gay guy, but...
who cares?
He wasn't bothering anybody.
He was just doing his thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely. There's a question on the floor. Go ahead.
It might be totally obvious to the entire country, but I've always wanted to ask this.
Go ahead and ask it, Jackie. Feel free.
Why are the two different teams investigating the blood for DNA? Wouldn't that be just like one test and there'd be results?
Of course. Well, the problem is...
Like fingerprints. You don't get to test the fingerprints and then somebody else.
Normally, first of all, the people that they're using to test the blood, that the cops are using, the prosecution are using, they are, they use an independent company. There's not too many companies in the world that do this DNA testing. It's not like
some tests are done by a private company. Other tests are done by the FBI.
Exactly. So the defense, they're trying. Listen, they know O.J. is guilty.
No,
Johnny Cochran's not stupid, and F.U. Bailey is not stupid. They know he's guilty. They know their client did this. So what they're trying to do is throw doubt. The only place they can throw doubt is with the police. So they're now going to say, hey, where you're doing that DNA testing, that's no good, and you guys are probably finagling all the evidence behind our backs. So the prosecution said, you know what? Why don't you come and watch us do these tests? And you can bring your own experts. Make sure that no one is finagling with it. Nah, that's okay. We're not going to do it. Now,
we can't have our experts standing there.
Yeah, we can't have. Now, why can't they have them? Because then if they have their experts standing there...
And the experts see that the tests are conducted properly, what are they going to do?
And most juries would throw this out. Now, you have an instance where they have a black jury. Now, everyone keeps saying, how did they get an all-black jury? Is Marsha Clark off her rocker? No. What happened was the trial was moved to a jurisdiction that is mostly black and Hispanic.
What jurisdiction?
Oh, the place where Judge Ito works, that particular area of town where they have the jury pool from Judge Ito's court is predominantly black and Hispanic. You were virtually assured. In fact, at first they were going to hold the trial. I forget where it was 80% white. They made them change it. And once they changed it, the whole jury pool was black and Hispanic. So now when you have this clear-cut evidence that O.J. committed this crime, this heinous crime, there's actually an opportunity for O.J. to walk free. I mean, there's a good opportunity for him to walk free. And if he walks free, what are you going to do?
It was interesting.
There's no justice
I heard
anyway.
Somebody talking about some of the aspects of the makeup of the jury the other day, and they said, well, interestingly enough, most of the members of the jury have completed high school or some college.
Right.
Another portion have completed high school, and one we can't determine.
Yeah, one they're not even sure. There's no known record. Can you imagine they're not sure? You know, one thing about most normal citizens, you can find out something about them. You can find out if they drive a car. You can find out if they have credit cards. You can find out if they've ever passed a bad check. You can find out where they live. It's very simple.
You can find out their nationality or ethnicity.
And the one thing you can always find out is school records. Imagine they can't figure out if this guy went to school or not.
Well, remember the other day, they couldn't determine the background of one, where they came from, like what makeup they were. They didn't know what race they were.
Me, right away, they got everything on. I can't hide.
This is the wackiest group of people. I can't wait to see it.
One guy has an undetermined race. Can you imagine that? You could imagine the background there. Undetermined race. Now, how do you figure that? You imagine what's going on in that room? Undetermined race.
Wouldn't you want to be a member of that party?
You know why they won't show that jury on TV? Not because they want to protect them. They don't want people to get depressed. They never saw a jury like this. And the jury, one juror already, they found out, is walking around in San Francisco 49ers jacket, which is O.J.'s old team, evidently, for a year. His last team. Got another guy who was placing money that O.J. will get off. He's sitting on the jury. They got another guy, a Cochise, who's sitting there with maps of Chicago trying to do his own police work. This is who you have. This is who you have. This is why you cannot have justice anymore. The whole legal system has to be overthrown. It is so warped and wacky. A lot of the judges are corrupt.
Handpicked jury.
Yeah, a lot of the judges are corrupt. You know, you got to remember something. Judges are, for the most part, appointed.
Mm-hmm.
When you have people who are appointed,
there's always some possibility of
shenanigans.
Yes.
Because you got to have sponsors. You got to have people you're tied in with. You got to be affiliated with different parties.
To that point.
You got to know people to get appointed to being a judge. That's number one.
What did you do to get there?
The judges are all lawyers. When the judges sit there and they allow litigation to go on that is really senseless litigation, they know they do it because when they step down as judges, they will go work for law firms that will benefit from all of this nonsense litigation. So they allow it to go on.
But can you answer one other question for me? Since Jackie got to ask a question.
And the lawyers are also, one second, the lawyers are also our legislators, and they make the rules. And they're lawyers, and they go into private practice when they're not legislators anymore.
Yeah.
We are being, and I told you this, lawyers are the evil of our society. They are the ones that are corrupting our society. There are too many law schools. It should be like medical schools. It should be 3 law schools, Harvard, Yale, and whatever, Princeton. That's it. Lawyers will destroy this country. We have 70% of the world's lawyers in this country.
And look, we're going down the tube.
And we're going down the tube. You cannot even bring a new product onto the market without immediate lawsuits. There are products now that will cure schizophrenia. They're available in Europe, and you cannot get them here because the drug companies know they will be sued by the piranha that are lawyers here.
We have to go to Europe now.
You have to go to Europe just to get your brain back. Now, you got a question, Robin. Go ahead.
Yes, my question is, why does Judge Ito dislike Marcia Clark?
Judge Ito, well, you say he dislikes her.
It just seems to me that he's always irritable with her.
Because she's a woman. And I'll tell you what the difference is. When a woman starts yapping and whining at you, F.U. Bailey whines. F.U. Bailey's obnoxious. He has an obnoxious personality, but because he's a guy, gets away with it. When a woman stands there and whines, she's a whiner. When a guy whines, he's being crafty.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of like, oh, shut up already. I'm telling you, Judge Ito might step down and beat her. I don't know.
Sustained.
Right. He gets testy with her. And let's face it, you know, she's got big cans and nice legs. You know, the guy wants to assert his power.
I just don't know the theory, Your Honor. I know the theory. Just go on.
Don't forget where Judge Ito comes from, which is China. Women walk behind the men.
He's Japanese.
Same thing. That's worse. They bind their feet. It's a very subservient society.
Japanese bound the feet?
Oh, absolutely. Wrong again, Robin.
Oh,
no, I know all about binding feet.
the way you do.
I'm very into feet. I studied Oriental feet binding in college, so don't even challenge me on this. Who knows the real answer to that?
It's the Chinese,
Is it?
I'm sure.
I thought the Japanese bound the feet. It was the Chinese. I think you're right. Son of a bitch. There goes my whole theory. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that he's Chinese.
The Japanese have the geisha.
Right.
The geisha.
I'll take some geisha. The geisha. That comes from the word geish. Thank you.
So anyway, here is Robert Shapiro, one of O.J.'s many lawyers, talking to somebody about the fact that Rosa Perez or whatever, Lopez, ran off.
Oh, by the way, they're thrilled, I'm sure. The defense is thrilled.
Oh, absolutely not, they're not.
Oh. This Rosa Lopez, they would have gotten a hold of her on the stands. You would have been like this. And I think it's funny. And you know, this way they say, hey, we had a witness that definitely got O.J. When the prosecution would have gotten a hold of someone, she would have said, well, no, I didn't really.
I don't think so.
Did you see a license plate? No, I didn't see it. Did you see the car? Well, not anything. Are you here in this country legally? I don't know. Where did you go to high school? It's not traceable. Do you know what a car is? A car? I don't know a car. Well, it would have been a riot. This is the best thing that happened to the defense.
You think?
Oh, I know it.
Well, what are they going to do for witnesses?
They're going to, in the summation, they're going to say they got screwed. They have no witness. O.J. did it.
It's very, very disconcerting to have a witness who views an event to be fearful of personal repercussions. And it's very concerning.
Yeah, we're all going to go kill her. This guy Shapiro, I tell you something. I don't know how he got $10 million from O.J., but God bless him.
That's a smart man.
That's a smart man. Evidently, O.J.'s defense cost $10 million. Him and that Cochran, they must be having a laugh.
I forget what he's talking about today.
F.U. Bailey yelling and screaming.
It's always interesting whenever Johnny speaks.
I think Johnny, what's coming out with him? You better
Johnny will be on trial.
Yeah, next.
He's going to need a lawyer.
Colin Ferguson's going to be his lawyer. Johnny didn't break any laws, but God knows what
not that we know yet. We're still digging.
Johnny's going to get off that case.
This sample was taken on July 3rd, fully 3 weeks after June 13th. And so that's awfully strange to me. And when that scene had been washed down and the crime scene had been vacated and people had been all around that scene, all the looky-loos. So I think that there's a real question about contamination.
He's arguing about the blood sample of O.J.'s blood on the gate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's very interesting to me that blood...
All the looky-loos.
But meanwhile, he said nothing. O.J.'s blood is on the gate. Hello.
O.J.'s blood is tenacious. It's stuck to the gate.
Yeah. What the hell? O.J. told me he'd never touched the gate. Damn.
Did you touch the gate, O.J.?
I can picture O.J. Let's go, damn it, I know. I'm telling you, Johnny, it ain't true. I never touched the gate.
Man, that's going to cost you another $5 million.
What else does Johnny say?
Do you think O.J. has admitted to Johnny that he's really guilty? I don't think so. He can't.
The lawyers cannot have him admit to a crime.
Right.
They are officers of the court. Legally, they'd have to turn him in.
So O.J. was in his... Maybe he said to Rosie Greer, goes,
yeah.
Let me go do this again. I know I left. I know I got those are my blood tracks on the and I know that that's definitely my blood on that sock, and that's Nicole. But I know I didn't touch that gate. Now, I'm going to stand up in that courtroom tomorrow and say, look, I didn't touch that gate.
That can't be my fault.
Now I am that bad.
What about the lawyers?
Imagine
the lawyers say that to each other like we know we did it. What are we going to do next?
I can't imagine that they don't, but I think they play this game of denial. They kind of just say to each other, our client is innocent. The whole world knows the guy's guilty, but you can't admit it to yourself.
Look, all they do is decide on a defense, and then they stick to it. If they decide we're defending O.J. as if he's an innocent man, that's what we got to say.
If F.U. Bailey, Johnny Cochran, or Robert Shapiro have any sort of humanity deep down inside of them, and which is hard for a lawyer to have, because most of them don't. But if there's any sort of inkling of humanity, when those pictures of Nicole and Ron Goldman come up and their heads are chopped off, they got to say to themselves, what am I doing for a living?
Well, the stepdaughter of the Mrs. Cochran that he never married said that her father, Johnny, once told her that there were only two kinds of people he would never represent, and one of them were wife beaters.
Really?
Changed his mind.
Him and Tom Chiusano ought to get together.
He also told the girl he was going to marry her mother, but he never did that either. So.
Tom Chiusano told me he would never make a promo over 30 seconds without my permission.
Now, a lot of people around not keeping their word.
That's right.
So anyway, did Johnny have anything else to say?
Yes, he does. Yeah, absolutely. He has more Bodie Dash.
Biggest concern over anybody putting a cloud over these jurors, and especially focusing on any one juror with rumors. We don't think it's fair, and it's certainly not fair to the jurors. And
why?
Much of
Nobody
what
knows
you
who
heard
they are.
is hearsay.
Yes, that's his complaint, that all these stories are coming out about jurors who are wearing the wrong clothing, jurors who have bets on the trial, jurors who are conducting their own investigation.
What's the difference? What are you worried about?
This is wrong. Yeah, because he loves the jury.
You're not kidding. Wouldn't you want that jury? I'd fight very hard if I was O.J.'s lawyers. Yeah. What about the guy who has that money rolling on this thing? There was one juror they actually had who I think they did dismiss. They obviously did. Who said that he would never convict O.J.
Oh, he couldn't be still on the jury, could he?
I tell you, I think they got a good shot at it, Cochran and Shapiro and F.U. Bailey. And I tell you, Captain Japan don't seem to be too disturbed by any of this.
No. I think that he is looking forward to being entertained by O.J. when it's all over.
Yeah. He could have O.J. over the house if he plays his cards right. Anything else?
Incredible. Yeah, there's a settlement in a case against Dow Chemicals having to do with breast implants. This is the first case that has actually been settled in the courts. The Dow Chemical Company has been found responsible for the first time for injuries alleged to have been caused by silicone breast implants made by affiliated companies.
How many women would you say in America really got breast implants? About 2 million?
I don't know.
That's what I read somewhere, like 2 million. And like, how much could they charge for those bags? Those silicone bags?
Oh, I don't know, $100.
$100? Now they got to pay out about $5 billion.
$5.2 million in damages awarded to.
No, that's just one award, but they have to pay out like $4 or $5 billion.
No. That's probably it. Could be if all of these cases were found.
No, that's
they offered a big settlement.
One person, because they said it was $4 million for her and $1 million for her husband.
Well,
right.
Yeah,
he's got to
look at her.
But he's talking about the billions to settle the entire case.
All the
cases. Just one woman.
Right.
2 other people that were involved in her case got nothing.
Do you think that there's a woman on this planet for real who got breast implants not knowing that there was a health risk? I don't.
Oh, come on. These people are very...
out of it?
Yeah, naive.
Really? Wow.
Every time a doctor gives them something, they think all it will do is cure them.
Wow.
Whatever ails them. They don't know about side effects. They don't know anything.
I can't imagine that there isn't implied risk when you take a bag of foreign substance, plant it into your chest.
There's an implied risk when you take an aspirin.
Right. You could die from that. I think it's a joke. I think this whole thing is a joke. I think that there are women who are still willing to get breast implants knowing that it's a danger to their bodies.
Well, we have Gladys Lass, who is the woman who won this award. Here is her statement to the press after she's leaving the courtroom.
All right, this must be the mystery sound.
I hope.
I'm so thankful that 12 people that I never saw in my life could come together and realize that we're all not crazy, that we really are sick, and these implants did this to us, and that they could try to make these corporate people responsible for what they've done to us.
I believe she's sick. I believe everyone who puts those things in their chest must be in self-denial. They must be in total denial.
What's that got to do with us?
Yeah. It's got to be. You can't put stuff into your chest that has something called silicone.
Something you spray on your car door to get it to open.
And put a bag of it into your body. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You want to take that risk, go ahead. If I was Dow Chemical, I would just say, listen, I'm going to give you something called silicone. We caulk doors with this stuff. I'm going to put it in your chest. Most people would say to you, well, listen, I'm not letting you caulk my breasts. Forget it.
I don't care what my husband thinks.
Well, you got to think for yourself sometimes. You got to just say, wait a second, I'm gonna check this out here for a second.
Let me see a few other people get it first.
Having said that, I've told my wife to get breast implants. I said, listen, worst that happens, this appears to me a lot of these women have a good 20 years.
You get a little lumpy.
You're going to probably live another 20 years. Anything past 60 ain't worth living anyway.
Oh, unless it's you.
Right. I'm saying you'll have great cans for the next 20 years.
And you'll die with great cans.
Exactly. In fact, I won't even bury your cans. I'm going to leave them for my next wife. Listen, if my wife came to me and said she's putting silicone bags into her chest, I'd say, listen, you'll be lucky if you live to make it to the car so I can drive you home with your big cans.
But you'll slide right in if you do.
Right. Get the Wonder Bra. You want bigger breasts.
Wonder Bra.
All right. Robin?
Anyway, yeah, there's the breast implant story.
It's a good story.
She got $5.2 million, and as Jackie said, that's $4 something for her and $1 million for her husband. What he suffered, I don't know. I guess the loss of her services or something.
Well, maybe. Whatever it is, I wish I had it. Wish my wife would bring home the bacon like that.
And they are going to consider looking into the way they nominate films in the category of Best Documentary. According to a report today, the Academy's decision to bypass the critically acclaimed film Hoop Dreams has caused quite a ruckus. Now they say that the people who make these nominations, who vote on the nominations for documentary awards, aren't filmmakers, and sometimes probably haven't even seen the 5 films that are nominated.
Wow. That's so shocking. Somebody just sent me a form to vote on some awards. I didn't see any of the shows. It was the Screen Artists Guild's.
Screen Actors Guild?
Yeah, I'm in that, evidently. I did a commercial one time, so I'm in the Screen Actors Guild.
So am I.
Yeah.
Got to pay them every
Yeah, I think you're in it because of the same commercial I was in. And they sent me some sort of award nomination thing. And I filled it up by people who have appeared on this show.
Really?
Yeah, people who've done us favors. Like Roseanne was up for one. I gave her an
that
award.
was a comedy award.
Yeah, no, not comedy awards.
No, this is something else?
Yeah, this is called, I'll tell you right here, Screen Actors Guild. This is their first time ever. It's called the Screen Actors Guild Award Show Final Ballot nominees. And then I gave one to Tom Hanks because he once said something nice to us, about us, to Stuttering John, yeah. And Tim Robbins seems like a real dick. He won't even say hi to Stuttering John. John Travolta, he isn't on this show. Paul Newman hasn't done anything.
John Travolta just turned us down.
What did he say?
Oh, hold on. He said that he's working at night out in L.A.
Well, he didn't say it. His publicist said it.
I said, oh, that's great because, he's at night, 3, 4 in the morning, perfect time to call us here in New York. And she said that he cannot be bothered while he's practicing his craft.
Oh.
He's doing the clay table.
Yeah. When he says practicing his craft, does he mean Scientology or? And then I gave one to, let's mention some of the people I gave awards to. I gave.
Or voted for. You didn't give awards to them.
Well, it's just, who else is going to fill this out beside me? John Goodman, because he says something nice about us. Roseanne. See, like he's up against Paul Reiser. He doesn't say anything good about us.
Right.
Turned us down again recently.
Yeah.
We're going to make him pay attention to us.
We are.
I gave one to Kathy Baker. I don't even know who she is, but I didn't see anybody else there I liked.
She's from Picket Fences.
Yeah. Dennis Franz I gave one because he seems like kind of a mellow guy.
And he said something nice about you once, too.
Yeah. So, people that I can... Forrest Whitaker I gave one to because he's a black guy, and that makes me feel real good.
Yeah, very, very patronizing house.
Yes, I like to give one to a black guy.
And it doesn't cost anything.
Exactly. It's my way of paying back.
Not that he's a good actor or does anything that you've seen that you respect.
200 years of oppression. The white man has to make
but who's counting?
I make restitution. All right?
Forrest Whitaker happens to be an incredible talent.
Yeah, and he was up against James Garner, who I said,
You hate.
I hate him. Raul Julia is dead. What does he need an award for?
Yeah, he doesn't need one.
John Malkovich, who I don't know. I know he's a good actor, but who cares? Mm-hmm. Then there was somebody called Gary Sinise.
Oh, he was Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I don't know him. And I said Forrest Whitaker. He was cool in that one movie I liked.
The Crying Game.
Yeah, and he's a black guy. Let's give him a little something.
Just throw, you know what?
Because this was an all
people just because they're black.
This was an all-white award, and I just said, it's going to look really bad.
Oh, I hate you.
You got to give a black guy.
I'm so sick of you.
Hey, I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal.
I am disgusted and appalled by you.
Here's another. Listen to this. I had a choice of Robin Wright for Forrest Gump, Diane Weiss for Bullets Over Broadway, Uma Thurman for Pulp Fiction, Sally Field for Forrest Gump, and Jamie Lee Curtis, True Lies. Who did I give it to?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right, because she's done the show.
Called into the show.
Exactly.
Not because she's white.
Well, that too. To balance out Forrest Whitaker. Of course. And she's a woman.
And nice cans.
And nice legs. I felt bad for Lieutenant Dan. He had no legs, I saw that movie. But, screw him. I don't know.
Speaking of nice cans, do you want to talk to a woman on the phone who had breast implants and claimed that they crippled her?
Of course they did. She put silicone in. Why is she calling me?
Howard has already said, I know they hurt people.
Well, I actually had
Who wouldn't know they hurt people?
I had a plastic surgeon who called. He wouldn't come on the air, but he said that there are over 2 million breast implants in this country and double that worldwide, and there's no documented case that it causes anything wrong.
Oh, well. Hey, you're on the air.
I said that about Agent Orange.
Yeah. Of course breast implants cause problems. How would you not know that?
Well, I didn't know that at 17 when my parents hadn't put in.
Your parents had you put in breast implants?
Well, at 17 I had one put in.
Why?
Because I had Poland syndrome.
What's Poland syndrome?
When you don't have a breast muscle. So my parents didn't want me to feel like a freak in school.
Yeah?
So they had one put in.
Yeah, all right, so you're entitled to some money because you have Poland spring syndrome.
Right. So what happened is, 20 years now.
Like women who got them, like who had breast cancer or something, and then put them in and stuff, and just didn't have an alternative. All right, I'll give them some money.
Yeah, well, I hope they give me some money.
But in all seriousness, your parents have to know.
Well, we didn't because if
you don't put a silicone
20 years ago is when they first
20
came out
years
with
ago, I used to read about silicone.
Yeah, they were shooting it right to people.
When I was in high school, I read about Linda Lovelace and all that kind of stuff. I said, what are they, fools? Why don't they just put a tire under their chest?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, well, of course it causes problems.
Why would you think that?
Yeah.
Why would you think you can put some foreign substance in your body when you hear that they can't even put another person's heart into you without your body rejecting it?
And between me, if you don't have a breast muscle, big deal. I mean,
Yeah, well, you know, when you're in high school...
what are you, in a bodybuilding competition?
No, but, you know, when you're an athlete and you have to get... You know how they make you get undressed in the high school and
What
stuff?
happened to falsies?
Well, but when you're getting undressed and you're going in the shower and people...
Let me tell you
see
something.
only have
I went
one
through.
breast,
I'll tell you something, my dear. I went through all of high school because I have a small penis. There was no implant for that. I have a very small penis. I never once. I always managed to hide my penis from my classmates.
Yeah, well, it was not an easy thing to do.
No, I never said it was easy. It was embarrassing. I used to do. I'd go through an entire gym class. I'd be all sweated up, and then I wouldn't take my clothes off. I would just throw my regular clothes and wouldn't shower.
You have to be inventive.
And I stunk all day.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well,
and,
yeah,
you know,
that's what you
sometimes
do.
I regret... I mean, I had it taken out because it's at the point right now where I was telling Gary I have connective tissue disorder.
What's your breast look like when you have like a whatever that condition is? What do you mean? You had a regular breast there, just you didn't have any control over it.
No, I have a nipple, but I don't have a breast.
Oh, no kidding. That's like Fred.
Like it's flat. Yeah, I'd be flat on one side and not on the other.
Oh, guys dig that.
It's a novelty.
Yeah.
Howard.
Jackie had to go with one leg. It was the best he ever had.
Variety. What?
That's right.
You want the other hand to do something else anyway.
Yeah, I usually fiddle around with one breast anyway when I'm in bed with my wife.
Never ever touch two at the same time.
You know how
Yeah.
parents can be overprotective of their children.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, that was
You know.
You
Who knew?
should sue your parents.
Yeah, well.
There you go.
What are you going to do? They take care of me now, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm in that class action lawsuit, and that's just going to keep taking for years and years and years. And unfortunately, what happens is the people that are sick.
But you know what I mean? A lot of women who went and did this for cosmetic reasons because
Right.
they wanted to go up 2 cup sizes, they knew exactly what they were getting into. No one's going to convince me any differently. They knew there was a health risk. Well, otherwise, every woman in the country would have run out and done it. Everyone was having an issue going, do I put those in my chest? Do I put them in my chest? What the hell, I'll do it.
Right. Yeah, I personally don't believe those people deserve anything anyway.
Yeah,
know,
I'm with
because
you.
It was a choice they made. I did not make this choice. My parents made the choice for me.
Oh, your case is
I
an easy
agreed
one.
with them, you know.
Your
but-
case is an easy one. I wish I was representing you.
Oh, I wish you were too,
Oh,
Howard.
believe me, I would get you right into bankruptcy.
You got a
Thank
good lawyer?
You don't have a lawyer working on that?
Not really, no.
Really?
I filed for the settlement, and they said you didn't need a lawyer.
Oh, I see. You could probably get even a better. You could probably get
right,
more.
because you're not going to get much.
Right. Well, they said that I'm down for $1.4 million, so
Oh, really?
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, one breast or no breast. I don't care.
$1.4 million. $1.4 million.
And now I'm seeing 2 breasts.
I don't need some breasts now.
Yeah, I'm seeing double, baby. Just, you know what you do? You open up your wallet every time some guy makes fun of your breast.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful girl. Maybe we can get her on the next pay-per-view special. Maybe we'll look into that.
Well, that's what's happening.
Thank you, Robin. By the way, let's mention again that you have 2 very beautiful breasts, unencumbered with silicone.
No silicone.
No, those are nature's beauty.
Well, they're not nature's beauties. They were remodeled, but they are all the original materials.
Damn right they are. And more.
Oh, my.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy 2, get 1 free. Call 1-800-323-KING. You know,
I had my breast renovated.
You know, I always have something wrong on my body. You know how you said this morning your back was bothering you? Like, last week, my tooth hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was real annoying. I could barely talk because I banged my tooth when I was sledding with my kid, trying to be father of the year, which will never happen again. And like today, now my eye is all itchy.
Mm.
It's always something wrong with me.
That same eye thing that you had to...
No, it's something different.
This is a different eye thing.
Different eye, different thing.
But see, unlike you, I have something wrong all the time. I ignore it.
Do you?
Yeah, and it goes away.
Well, I'm
it
waiting.
comes up somewhere else.
All right, then I'll ignore it. I'm fine. Friday night, March 17th at Chuckles, Mineola on Long Island. For Filthy Jokes info, call 516-922-WINE. I think Jackie's best shows are at Chuckles. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a paid service. I saw Jackie at Chuckles.
Did you?
I sure did. I've never been back. Don't miss Stuttering John's band appearing at the Agora Theater in Cleveland this Saturday night, February 18th, with special guest host Boy Fafafui. For more,
What you just did to me, now my back pain is back.
Of
See,
course.
I had ignored it and it had gone away.
I apologize. For more information, call 201-942-OUCH. Hey, if you're planning a wedding or party and you need a DJ, I got a guy for you to call. The life of the party himself, Scott the engineer.
Well, he must be different than he is here.
It's fun to stare at him. It's like looking at a wooden Indian.
He'll make you feel better.
Never changes his expression. You know what you're paying for. Rocket Entertainment Rocket and Scott shouldn't be in the same sentence. There's nothing rocket-like about him. Rocket Entertainment.
Unless the rocket is a dud.
Right. 718 bag 5040.
Music the way you like it. Call me Mr. Entertainment.
And we'll see you tomorrow.